Welcome to the 371st episode of the Video Games podcast, where we talk about any game at all, including new stuff, old stuff, and anything in between. If we are playing it, we'll be talking about it. Today we are recording on January 14th, 2024. My name is Brad Galloway. I am the editor of GameCritics.com, and I'm also 50% of this here show. With me is the man who's trying his best to keep me awake, Carlos Rodella.
Oh, why are you tired?
Man, I ended up working this last-minute gig last night. I don't want to go into too much details, but just as a quick behind-the-curtain thing for people that don't know, you know, podcasting doesn't pay shit. Video games doesn't pay shit, so we all have to have gigs, right? You've got a gig, I've got a gig, everybody's got a gig. And with my gig, you know, sometimes I get these emergency calls where they're like, we need you like literally right now. Could be any hour of the day. And last night it came in at like 11 o'clock and I'm like, oh shit, I was just about to take my nap.
Oh.
So I ended up working all the way through the period at which I usually sleep. And so I got home early in the morning after I should have been sleeping. And then I was like, fuck, my whole body clock is like screwed right now. So,
okay. Well, I'll try to, bring the energy for you.
if it gets really quiet for like more than like 3 or 4 seconds, I've probably fallen asleep. Like,
oh shit. In the middle of my review.
yeah. Maybe in the middle of mine. You never know, dude.
Well, but, I would know because you'd be quiet.
Well, maybe. Yeah. If you do like an air horn sandboard or something like that, like any kind of like sound, just send it, wake me up real quick.
We need to switch to the other platform I was telling you about that just kind of edits it on the fly, the podcast.
Yeah.
Because that thing has soundboards. So
that would be fun. Or
I
that
think
might
we'll
be
do
trouble,
that.
But yeah,
maybe next episode.
Give it a shot. All right.
Yeah, I'll try to shake you awake, but with my voice.
Do it. Use those sound waves, my friend. So.
Okay.
All right, folks, this is it. This is the show where we're getting started. It's also freezing in my basement, so if my voice box ices over, that might happen. We'll see what happens.
Oh, in Seattle, it's like 9 out right now.
Yeah, like it's literally like it's the coldest it's been in such a long time. And I realize that, like, you know, people in Minnesota are probably like 9, that's shorts weather or whatever. But here in Washington and Seattle, that's really cold for us, and we're just not built for that out here. So.
Well, and it's again part of this whole like the world is changing, whatever seasons, etc. Because it's been normally like 40 or 30, and it's just dropped down to like 10, and it's only going to do it for 2 days, and then back on like Tuesday, it's going to be back to again our normal. So it is also weird. Like it's a weird timing that just it dropped like a ton of cold on us.
Well, how cold it is like yesterday, we put some water out for the chickens and the water froze like in like 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
I went to go warm up my car. I couldn't get my car open because the lock mechanism wouldn't disengage because the whole thing was freezing. And then when I got inside my car, I noticed there was crushed ice all over the inside of my car. And I'm like, wait a minute, is my son playing a prank on me? Like, where did all this crushed ice come from? Like the kind that you get in like a drink or something, right? Like literally crushed ice. And so I'm looking around my car like, what the fuck is going on in here? And I had a can of like LaCroix that was in the passenger seat that I didn't realize was still there. It was closed and it froze, but it must have frozen right before it burst. And so the can exploded.
Oh my goodness.
And then crushed ice shot all over the inside of my car. There's crushed ice over everything, dude.
But
crazy. Nothing was wet. It was pure ice.
Yeah. It just exploded, then turned into ice immediately.
Yeah. Fucking crazy. Anyway,
it feels like a Batman movie or something, with that. What's that guy, Mr. Frost?
Mr. Freeze is like showing up and he's like hosing everybody down with his cold beam or something. So.
I saw like a faucet like on the street somewhere, like a little pipe,
Yeah.
And where normally water comes out of that, it was just a huge thing of ice. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is ironic timing. Very ironic timing, as we will see when we get to the backlog portion of the show. Because I ended up picking a game that has a thematic tie to our cold snap, and it was 100% not planned. So
wow, we do that a lot.
We do that a lot. I think we are tuned into the cosmic universe, I suppose.
Yes,
so.
the flow.
All right, folks. Enough of this jibber jabber. Let's get to it. Folks, everyone knows that Carlos and I share a virtual living space divided down the middle with a strip of duct tape. His side, my side. Things are a mess, and we're going to tidy up. And we've got a lot of tidying up to do today, but we're going to start right here and right now in housekeeping. Carlos, I've only got like 2 things, and one of them's not even really game related. I just want to bitch about it, but I think maybe you should start first.
I have so many boxes, it's crazy.
What do you got?
Well, just a couple of little ones to start with. As you know, I go to YouTube and I watch tons of stuff there, and I saw a couple things that are interesting. One is a lot of videos for games we're excited about for this year, and I don't know if we ever did a episode like that, but it might be cool because the list is out there. Like there's a ton of games that we know that are going to be out in 2024. So I was watching a lot of those videos and I was thinking like, maybe we should do something like that.
We
I don't know.
could.
Yeah.
We could. But I am historically terrible at doing anything that looks more than like 3 days in the future. So I
Right.
end
Okay.
up not looking at anything. I get a lot of PR, but it's like I'm kind of like numb to it because I get so many pitches for things that are so far in the future. I just don't even bother looking at them anymore. It's always like, what's on my plate right now? What's on my plate right now? And it's always overflowing. I mean, we can do that if you want, but I feel like I would let you down, man.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll just do it
Yeah, you can do it
separately as a housekeeping thing. Because
totally.
like we know Dragon's Dogma, we know, all these games that are going to be out. I mean, again, some might get delayed, but Hellblade maybe will ever come out ever. Jeez Louise. They still haven't given us a release date on the thing.
I gotta get back and play that. I have it on my PlayStation.
Oh, yeah, you
It's
didn't
been
play
sitting
the
there
first
forever.
one.
It's in my backlog.
You'll play the first one when the second one comes out.
Very likely. That's very likely.
Well, to that point, kind of, and release dates is in a few days from now, the recording of this podcast, Microsoft's going to have a new Direct.
God, again, I feel like we're just constantly covered by directs.
We do,
recently.
yeah. But they haven't really done one, and they kind of, have a lot of talking to do about a lot of their games not, coming out. So a bunch of these are games that are supposedly coming out very soon. Also, the Machine Head Games, is going to show off the Indiana Jones game.
There is one?
Yeah, you didn't know?
No, man.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me. I haven't gotten zero PR about this.
Well, I don't know anything either. We're going to find out in the direct.
Oh, is this like the big announcement? For the first time? Oh, okay.
But they've talked about it. But Machine Head Games, the other guys who did and gals who did Wolfenstein.
Oh, that's right.
Which I love that
that's
series.
Disappointing. I
you
Wolfenstein.
don't?
Yeah, I did not like it.
Wow.
I
Okay.
did not care for it.
Anywho.
Anyway.
Release dates, games coming out. I don't know. I guess that's a box that I'll just put away.
You can
for
do
now.
it. Yeah, go for it. I would be in support of that. I just feel like I would not be able to carry my end of it.
Yeah. Also, I just want to mention this from Discord because I've been jumping in there. You're in there all the time.
Yep.
I Am Alive came up in a conversation we're having.
Yeah,
I forgot
that was
with who.
Random blast from the past.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, you know what? I love that concept, which is dystopian, a person walking around, dystopian future, kind of like survival, but also an action game, third-person action game. And I remember starting it, and I remember noping out because it was too difficult. And that was, when it came out, right? And I haven't touched it since. But when they were mentioning it, I apologize who mentioned it. I forgot.
I'm going to look it up. Go ahead. Keep talking.
I was like, oh my goodness, I want to go back and play that. Went to my digital store. This will come up again in the backlog segment. And it wasn't available because I needed the disc.
Oh, fuck. Really? Like you had to put in the disc for verification?
Well, no, because it's not on the store.
It's not on the store at all?
Yeah.
Oh, got you.
But I have, they showed that I, played it. So I have to go to like a game. I have to go online basically, or GameStop or something, and my local shop and pick up the disc.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, you can probably, you definitely support your local shop. I bet you get on eBay for something. I mean, I don't know. Honestly, I got to say I've fallen out of touch with how expensive disc games are. I was actually talking to somebody recently, just like a random one-off conversation on Twitter. And they were like, oh my God, have you seen like how some games are spiking? And I'm like, what, really? Like I thought the digital marketplace was supposed to kill all that, but I guess it really depends if it's something like this where you can only get it on a well, I mean, number one, you have to know about it. I don't know if anybody knows about this game anymore, but I'm sure that maybe some prices for certain games are spiking right now. I wonder how much that one would go for.
Well, I'm looking it up now, but also I just found out because I didn't do any research like we don't do. It's on Steam. So I'll just play it on Steam.
Oh, fuck that. Just buy it there then. Yeah.
Because the only thing is I just want to make sure the controller support is there because lots of times it isn't. But this is from 2012 this game came out in. So it's firmly in that backlog section, by the way.
So I love I Am Alive. In fact, that was one of my favorite games the year it came out. And I think it was actually ahead of its time.
It was, yeah.
Just to kind of recap, I bet a lot of people have not even heard of it. I bet we're bringing it up randomly. And I'm looking at the Discord. I'm frantically trying to like scroll through. I believe it was Way to Go who brought it up. I'm 99% sure, but I'm trying to podcast and also scroll through Discord. It's not working that well. Yeah, but
that's okay.
I'm pretty sure it was Way to Go who brought it up, I think. And if I'm wrong, I apologize. We'll correct it later. But basically, it had this like it debuted a million years ago from Ubisoft, I believe, with this crazy trailer, and everybody got like really hyped up for the trailer. But it was one of those trailers that was like very different from the final thing. They were, they did one of those bullshit PR moves where it's like the trailer way overpromised. But it went through development hell for a while. But when it finally came out, it was actually still really good. Like it had a lot of climbing mechanics. It was kind of a black and white post-apocalyptic. It had a very The Last of Us feeling, like way before The Last of Us came out.
Yeah.
Very grim, post-apocalyptic. Some really cool shit in that game. I'm actually curious to go back to it because I did finish it and I thought that game was fucking amazing. And it was just like, I was one of the few people out there, us at Game Critics, who were like, "Oh my god, everyone's going to play this game," and people just kind of crickets, like nobody really played it. So
Yeah.
it would be amazing if this game made a comeback, like 10 or 11 years later or whatever it is.
Well, maybe we'll help spark that. We've done.
And that's what I'm
things like
saying.
that
That's what I'm
before.
saying. Yeah, I think so.
I'm gonna get it on Steam tonight. It'll be my backlog game for next week.
That's awesome.
Okay.
I'm very, very looking forward to it.
And I didn't beat it, because like I said, I got frustrated because I think it was ammo. I think it was like I ran out of ammo too much. That's what it
Yeah.
was. I remember now.
It very likely could have been that, yeah.
Man, our gaming memories are good. I'm just going to give us a shout out real quick, a little pat on the back.
Hey,
You and I game
congratulations, gaming memory.
memories, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was that, and I was like, oh, I can't even fight. And if you can't fight, a game becomes not fun. So maybe there's a way. They must have patched it a million times by then. So
Probably. I don't remember the details. I remember liking it. I remember liking the climbing. I remember liking the grim survival. I remember, and it is definitely one of those games where you have to be very conservative with your stuff because like you scrounge for like
yes,
bullets, and I want to say there was like an axe or something. But yeah, man, like that was like proto The Last of Us before. And in fact, I wouldn't even be surprised if Neil Druckmann was like, "Oh yeah, I played this game and it inspired me." I don't know if he'd ever admit
Yeah.
it, but there's so many parallels. I think it can't be a coincidence.
See, people, if you join our Discord, and you bring something up, it can make it to the podcast. That's what I'm saying.
There you go. Absolutely. 100%.
I Am Alive and become one of my backlog games because it's going to be as of next week.
Yes. I Am Alive on Steam. Carlos going to check it out. That game's fucking great. I remember it being great. Everybody listening, check that out as well.
And just for listeners or new listeners, when I keep mentioning the backlog thing, we mentioned last episode that we're going to do this every week. We're going to bring one backlog game to the show. So I have 2 today, and we'll be doing that each week.
Yep. That is our New Year's resolution, which you are currently delivering on.
We're delivering. My next box is a box that's marked AI, which is already got Brad upset, and I can see him stewing. And,
boiling
he's
over
boiling
here.
already. But I just wanted to mention this because I thought it was very interesting. Is I made one of those GPTs. If you pay enough money to subscribe to GPT or whatever, which I know is also a red flag for people. But if you do, you can make your own, and they just opened the store. It's a pretty big thing for AI because basically once you have the store open and you're paying for it, so you can make one. If it becomes successful, there's a chance that you can make money on it and you could, get featured, etc. So what's interesting about the GPT store and making one, it's unlike anything else where you can actually just use natural language. It's like you're typing to GPT to make the GPT. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get you. You don't need a program. You just kind of you tell it what you want it to, what the parameters are, but in English.
In English, yeah. And like you would be talking to GPT. And then the GPT for the creation part gives you prompts like, hey, what do you think about this? What would you like it to do this? Then at some point, you just like have it go, and then you can keep updating it, which I think is really cool. You can always go back and hit edit button and say, hey, you know what? It's talking too long. Like, let's shorten its responses. And so you could do all that forever. You can keep kind of fine tuning it. Long story short, I made one about an AI gamer. And I wanted to see, have it be very opinionated and say, its opinions on games. And then I asked it, and then it just said, well, how about we call it Pixel Pundit? And I go, okay, because it named itself, so I didn't even name it.
Gotcha.
Long story short, here is 2 questions I want to tell you in the podcast that I asked it. And now, mind you, I didn't give it, me, you, any of our opinions. It's not going off of Carlos. It's not going off of the podcast.
That you know of, though, but you signed up for it, so they know who you are.
No, it doesn't, though, because it exists in a bubble by itself until you start typing into that box.
I don't know.
So my account is, and I can tell you another thing, my account is glitched to the ground. So it's not even Carlos. So I'm literally doing it from a brand new account. Anyways, keep that aside.
They still know.
Okay, maybe they do. But the point is, I said, hey, be very opinionated. I did a lot of, in quotes, natural language coding. And then finally finished it and then asked it a question. And this is literally crazy because, we obviously talked about Starfield and we have thoughts about it. So I asked it, what would you score Starfield? Again, no prompts. I'm not telling it to do anything particular. Here's what it said. I need to mention this. Starfield. This is Pixel Pundit. Bethesda's latest Space Odyssey. If I had to rate it, I'd give it a 6 out of 10. That's us. That's what we did, right? Well,
Sure,
6.5.
sure.
Hear me out. It's ambitious, sure, but it's more like a jack of all trades, master of none. They've got a vast universe, but it feels like a mile wide and an inch deep. The hype was astronomical, but in reality, it's just another open world game with the same old Bethesda glitches. It's like they're more interested in quantity over quality. And don't get me started on the crafting system. It's as if they just tossed it in to tick a box. So yeah, 6 out of 10. This is awesome. Because space is cool, but it could have been way cooler.
Could have been way cooler.
Yeah. I just thought that was really cool and funny. And it's literally what I said or what we've said on the show. Thoughts on that? And then I have another one.
Yeah, so thoughts. So number one, I don't disagree, but also fuck AI. So the thing that initially comes up to me, I mean, I have huge concerns with AI in general, just how it works.
Oh, I
and
know.
the ethics of it and everything. But I'm kind of wondering if you had run this 6 months ago, would it have said the opposite, right? Because, this followed the classic curve, and we even called it on the show. I believe we even said this out loud, where it's like, yeah, it's going to be pretty good reviews at first. It's going to really taper off because, we had our pretty good views on it. We're both pretty accurate, I think, in terms of our taste and how games are put together and stuff. And, I'm like, yeah, this is going to be hot for like a week, but then people are going to fall off because I think this game is crap. And I wonder if the output would have been, oh yeah, this game is really fun. It's so great. Bethesda's really delivering on their promises 6 months ago, as opposed to now, because obviously it's scraping, that's what AI does. It's not smart.
It's
It just
looking
scrapes things
online,
from all over
yes,
the web.
yep.
So now that everybody's kind of cooled off on it, and the majority of reviews, if you include Steam and stuff, are now negative, I wonder if that's really what it's basing it on.
Well, I'm glad you said that, and I'm glad you brought that up as a kind of other side to debate, because I asked it a more general question, which is, what's your stance on people who say gamers should get good if they find a game too hard?
Yeah.
Okay, and then it said, get good is a lazy argument. Gaming is about fun, not just skill. If someone's not enjoying a game because it's too hard, that's a design flaw, not a player flaw. You've literally said that.
I have said that.
Games should be acceptable to everyone, not just the elite few with lightning reflexes and endless free time. Difficulty options exist for a reason. Let people enjoy their way. So that,
I don't
that
disagree.
isn't of the time, really. That's not
Yes. I agree, but I also think what I really want to know is, where is it getting this from, right? Is it somehow knowing who you are? Is it somehow knowing that you and I are friends? Is it somehow tapping
No,
into
it's
that?
not.
Is it somehow?
It's
I mean,
not.
maybe it is. You don't know that. You don't know.
I do. Okay,
You
well,
didn't
anyways,
program it.
We'll take that part offline and I'll find out, or I'll try. But here's another one, just randomly, just so you know that it's not anything that you or I think. And I'm glad, again, I love you doubling down, because it made me ask this last question. I asked, what's your favorite game of all time? Okay, no context, no nothing. This is not either of our answers, and I think it's a weird answer, but here's what it said. Favorite is a strong word. Let's just say I find value in games others might overlook. Take E.T. the Extraterrestrial for Atari 2600.
Jesus Christ.
Right? It's often called the worst game ever, but I argue it's a misunderstood gem. It dared to be different with unconventional mechanics and a unique approach to storytelling. It's a lesson in risk-taking, in game design, something many modern titles lack. So while not my favorite, it deserves more respect for its boldness in the face of conventional gaming.
Oh, wow. That's so busted. That thing needs to be scrapped. Just delete the
Oh,
whole
you
thing.
don't like it because it's like a terrible game.
Not only is that a terrible answer, it's a terrible rationale. And it's a terrible game too. So that's just that's one of those things where you would ask it something and it gives you this completely fucking wrong answer. I think this is a case where the AI had no idea what it was scraping. It scraped up the wrong stuff for you.
I don't know. I mean, because by the way, I played that game when it came out, and it was wildly different than every other game. So yes, it was bad, but it was different. Anywho, okay.
Anyway,
that's Pixel Pundit, and I know Brett hates it, but I thought I'd
do.
bring it.
That's okay.
Pixel, go to sleep now, and Oh,
You
it
will
doesn't-
never put me to sleep.
I know it
own
never
you now.
sleeps. Robots never sleep.
I am your master.
This is something I think you can get behind. So I was going through all these pictures. I'm going through all of my photos ever, having this midlife crisis, V2 still. And I'm up to about 1,000, and I'm putting them on Amazon photo storage because if you didn't know, listeners, they have unlimited storage for photos for if you're Prime.
Well, you know why? You know why? What are they doing with it?
They're using it for
They're
their
scraping
ads.
it. Yeah, they're scraping it. Yep.
They're using it for Pixel Punted.
They are. That's why he fucked up that ET question.
No. Anywho, and then at some point, I'm going to make those public. I'm just going to like put my life on for the internet. I don't care. Minus that, I found this picture of a little notebook that I had back in the day. I think it was
Like when
even
you
a
were a kid?
diary. Yeah. I was probably, I want to say 15, 16. Mm-hmm. Okay. And I was like working a little part-time job. I've always been working, by the way, since I was a kid, just like always working. This is my budget to figure out how I can buy things that I want and games.
Oh, you actually like had a little spreadsheet going or something?
Yeah. But I've been doing that also forever. But it's kind of sad too. But anyways, not having enough money, ever. So it's called Budget Work Possible Expenditure of $460. So it's very specific.
Okay. Well, did you know what you needed the $460 for?
No, I was gonna get that. I think for like my paycheck or something.
Oh, gotcha.
You know what I mean? I was like, how am
so
I gonna
that's
spend
what you're
it?
gonna have. Gotcha.
Yeah. So I gave myself this is fucking adorable. I gave myself 4 options of how to spend that money. Okay. Option 1, $200 of clothes. That's a lot.
Okay.
I don't even spend that much nowadays. $55 for TV football for the TurboGrafx.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
$38 for the Turbo Tap.
Sure.
$43 for the JJ and Jeff game.
And these are all TurboGrafx things.
TurboGrafx games,
TurboGrafx
yes.
16.
Yep. $40 for China Warrior, which is terrible game.
Oh man, that would have been a waste of money.
I don't think I did that one. Okay, here's number 2. This doesn't always just add up. Just like go with it. The other one was adding, instead of those 2 other games, it was Bloody Wolf for TurboGrafx and Bonk's Adventure. Both of those $55.
Games were expensive back in the day, man.
Yeah, and some people are saying like, "Oh, it was super cheap." No, that's a lot of money. Option number 3, I had $90 for Batman for PC Engine
$90, yeah.
because it was an import.
Yeah, I know people have mentioned this. I'm glad you're bringing this up. Just like a really, really quick tangent. But like, yeah, people act like games are so expensive these days. But like, I remember buying Final Fantasy 2 back at Toys R Us. I mean, it was like $80 or some shit like that. And that was like in 90s money or whatever it was.
90s, yeah.
Yeah, so like it was even more than that. Games were regularly $75, $85, sometimes even $100 if it was like a big RPG or if it was, and forget about import games, forget it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Most of mine were. This next option, the last option was getting Splatterhouse for the PC Engine before it came out here in the US was $80.
Oh, fuck, dude. I mean, I enjoy 10 minutes of Splatter. I mean, I've beaten that game, and Splatterhouse is okay, but like 80, can you imagine paying $80 for that game? Jesus
I don't think
Christ.
I picked that one. Yeah, I don't
Good,
think
yeah, good choice you didn't pick that.
But the one I know I picked is one of the options was adding $35 for the Turbo Booster. Do you remember that?
Was that the thing that did like the rapid fire on the controller?
No. It was a peripheral that went on the console. You opened up the console, you took it off, you put this Turbo Booster on the back of it. It added more memory and it added like audio video capabilities.
That's right.
See,
yes.
back in the day, youngins, you couldn't even like sometimes output your audio the right way.
Right.
It had to go through the coax cable or whatever and go just into your TV directly. So whatever your TV audio was is what your audio was, which most TVs back then sucked, right?
Oh, you just have that little tiny little 4-inch front speaker is all you had. There was no sound system.
There was no sound system. So this allowed you to put it out to a sound system. And that was a big deal.
Yeah. Your giant, big, black 3-foot box of speakers or whatever.
Yeah.
Stereo.
Mine was a hand-me-down, like from my grandparents.
Sure. Was it? Did it have wood paneling on it?
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
Turbo Booster allowed me to hear like JJ and Jeff better. Yeah. So, anyways, that's a picture I found. I thought it was funny, and yeah, a lot of those games are expensive.
You got to post that one. I want to see that one, dude.
I have it right in front of me. I'll show you.
You got to post it. Yeah. Post it in
Okay.
the Discord. Post it, show it there.
Oh, yeah, it's a good idea. I think I posted that, that Topspin picture in there.
You did. All right.
That's all from me. I got through a lot of boxes. What's on your end?
I just have two things. One is game related. One is not. Let me just get the one that's not game related out. I just have to get this off my chest. And folks, just bear with me for a second.
Uh-oh, here we go.
So like everybody knows I got a basement. I'm in the basement right now. It's fucking cold as hell down here. And when I bought this house, it was from a flipper, so that should have been my first warning. But I didn't have a lot of experience buying houses, so I guess that's on me. Anyway, little cracks in the basement and stuff. And if I was smart, I would have hired a professional to come seal up the basement before we moved in, right? That would have been the smart thing to do. But I didn't do that because the flipper's like, yeah, we all fixed it up. We patched everything up. Looks good. And like, cool. So we move in, and of course the thing it leaks. We've had a couple pretty bad leaks where it's like, imagine you're looking at a wall, right? Concrete wall. And from that wall, there's like a tiny hole. And from that hole, there is like a 3-foot stream of water shooting out of it, like at high velocity, right?
What?
Like, I'm not talking about leaking down, like drip, drip, drip down. No, I'm talking about like the thing that the little Dutch boy was supposed to put his finger in to like save that dam in Holland or whatever. Like, it was like that, where it's like, it shot out, it ruined some stuff. I'm like, oh my God. And I didn't know anything about home repairs. I've never had to do this before, my first time. So I was like YouTubing everything and what do I do? And I kind of half-assed it. So I did get the shooting water to stop, but it still has been leaking, and I really want it to be dry down here because I want to set up some little bit better furniture. I'm going to set up a heater, and I don't want water to be a concern for anything. Mm-hmm. So I've been struggling with this. I think I've got a good plan that's going to have to be a big project for myself this summer. But anyway, I'm like, I really want to get the outside of the house patched as well because there's no water inside if there's not water coming in from the outside, right? Like, so there's got to be a hole on the outside of the foundation that's letting the water inside, because the water doesn't just materialize from nowhere. So I'm like, okay, I can patch the inside. I can do that now. I think I've done enough research. So I start calling some concrete contractors to be like, hey, I want to get like a quote. Like, maybe you could check out the outside of my house. You probably got to dig a hole because it's a basement, but like, what do you charge for fixing the outside of a wall or whatever?
Oh, I know where this is going.
Yeah, you know where this is going. That was my I will never do this again, dude. Never. So like what happened is I go to I go search on Google, and I don't even go to Angie's List or anything like that. I just go to I look up people directly. I'm like, I want something straight. I don't want to put my name out on like some spam list or something. So I call a couple people that are located here in Seattle. One's in Tacoma, one's in Seattle. And I leave a message and they call back, whatever. So what happens is the next day, it's literally 6:30 a.m. in the morning. And then my phone fucking goes off. And so, as I said earlier in the show, sometimes I have to go emergency call. I get called out in the middle of the night and stuff. And so I'm like, oh, is this my work? Is it a gig? And like, no. They're like, hello, we'd like to talk to you about patching your concrete. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, I don't know where this is going. I thought it was going to be about the amount of money.
No. We didn't even get that far, dude. They're calling me at 6:30 in the motherfucking morning, waking me up in the goddamn, I'm in bed, dude. And I'm like, are you, I literally was like, and this is not me. Usually I'm very nice to people who call. I don't want to take it out on workers and stuff like that. But I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? It's 6:30 in the goddamn morning. You're waking me up. What the fuck are you calling me for? And she's like, oh, sir, I'm sorry. I just wanted to talk to you about is this a good time to talk about patching your wall? I'm like, no, it's not a fucking good time to talk about my wall. Hang up.
Oh my goodness.
Don't call me back.
Did you say all that?
Yeah, I said all that, dude. I was like,
oh, man,
waking me up in the middle of the fucking morning. So they hang up. They call me later that day. So I called two companies.
They called back after that kind of a response?
Hold on to your horses. Hold on to them ponies, Carlos. So I called two companies. One person called me at 6:30 in the morning, and I lost my fucking mind. Later that day, I got 4 separate calls from both of these companies. The one that I said, don't call me back, and from the other one who called, and they just kept calling and calling. And at that point, I was like irate, and I'm like, I don't want to talk about this anymore. I don't care about this anymore. I'm going to fucking do it myself. I don't want to deal with you guys anymore. The next fucking day, they called again at 6:45 in the fucking morning. And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? Are you fucking crazy? Why did you call back? I told you not to call me back. What in the world makes you think this is a fucking good time to talk about my fucking concrete wall when I'm sleeping in fucking bed?
That's gracious.
And they're like, oh, I can see that you're upset. Yeah, I'm fucking upset. Stop fucking calling me. And they hang up. And they called me later that day like 3 more times, dude. I ended up having to block all their fucking numbers. And I'm like, what the fuck? What is wrong with these people? What in the world makes you think I would want to talk about my fucking concrete wall when I'm in bed? What the fuck, dude? I just had no fucking clue. I could not. Oh my
goodness. We got to rein it in
process
here.
It.
That is insane.
Go crazy.
By the way, okay, let me let you in on a little secret. There's a feature on your phone called bedtime mode. And it's a do
Well,
not disturb
I
thing.
can't though because I need my boss to call me sometimes. I can't just turn it off.
Oh, you can't.
No,
Because that's what I
my
would say.
phone rings 24/7 and I gotta go.
And
So
yeah, mine, I just would never have even heard that call because it was in do not disturb mode.
yeah.
That's crazy, especially crazy that they called back after you yelled.
Oh my god! I ended up blocking them both. I just blocked them on my phone. I'm like, don't ever call me again. You have lost my business. I will never do anything. I don't care if I got to dig that fucking hole myself and pour that concrete myself. I will do that because fuck you both. Like it was
Okay.
insane to me.
Let's say one little voice of reason. There's probably another company out there that is fine and would call you at reasonable hours. So I wouldn't say all companies are bad just because.
No, I mean maybe, but that was just like a could not believe that happened.
All right. Well, welcome back to the Concrete Cast.
Jesus. Anyway, sorry.
This is our last episode because Brad never wants to talk about it again.
I will never talk about it again because I'm so fucking mad. Okay, anyway. I was just like, that was just like so crazy to me. I had to get off my chest. It's off my chest.
You got
I
off your
feel better
chest.
now.
This is a safe place to bring that stuff. So there you go.
I'm sure that somewhere there's a concrete like contractor listening to this going, oh my God, I can't believe they did that to Brad. And if that's you,
right?
get in touch with me. But anybody else, fuck off. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, the other thing, the one game-related thing I wanted to talk about
games.
was... games. This is a games podcast. Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader, which I talked about last episode, I think. Playing some more of that. It's a really long play. It's like Baldur's Gate 3, but in Warhammer 40k universe. It's really great. I'm having a great time with it, really enjoying it. But the thing that I wanted to mention about it was, besides play it, is also... There's a moment. So anybody that's familiar with 40k, and I'm sure that you've probably seen this as well too, Carlos, you're probably very familiar with like the Space Marine, right? Like the iconic, the dude in the big armor, usually got the chainsaw sword, maybe like a bolter gun's got like, really thick thighs and, the crazy backpack. You know the guy that I'm talking about, right?
I do. And in that, the action, like RPG version of that game, what is it called again that we both loved?
Inquisitor.
Inquisitor. I didn't play as the Space Marine. I played as like a woman, like rogue character.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Because I actually don't care for those big Space Marines. But anyways, go ahead.
Right, but you know the Space Marine. It's like the iconic thing about Warhammer 40k. Like if you ask anybody 40k, they're like, "Oh yeah, Space Marines."
Yeah.
There's been multiple games. You've played Space Marines many times. They're usually like the fodder troops. Like when you do like a turn-based game of 40k, whether it's tabletop or whether it's video game, that's like the base unit. It's like your grunt soldiers, is the Space Marine. Sometimes you get like 9 of them in a block, and that's like your block of Space Marines. You're like, yeah, okay, whatever. These are the dudes. We all know them. It's fine. So I'm playing Rogue Trader. And again, this is like a Baldur's Gate 3 kind of top-down PC RPG. So your main character is the Rogue Trader, which means you're like a wheeler dealer of space. You're like a bargainer. Like you can have guns and stuff, and you can put a little bit of armor on, nice hat or whatever. But you're just like a person. The other people in your team, you've got like, a psychic person. You've got like a guy who's kind of tough. He's got a chainsaw sword, but they're like people, and they're wearing like, regular armor and stuff. And you kind of go through the quests, and you talk to people and wheel and deal and trade for money, and you're flying your ship through space and stuff. It's all good. But then I got to this one planet. This was the very first like big boss battle of the game, like the kind of end to chapter 1. I've been playing for like maybe 15 hours by this point. So I'm feeling like a badass, right? Because I pretty much roll anybody I come up against. I got great powers and good weapons and stuff. And so you get to this boss battle, and all of a sudden, chatter, bad guy gives their little speech, and then they bounce, and then a Space Marine shows up, like the actual just generic Space Marine, but it's just one. It's just one Space Marine. And then when you see them next to a regular human being, I'm like, oh fuck, wait a minute. This dude's like actually like really big, and his guns are like enormous, and he's got this giant fucking chainsaw. And he's not special. He's not like a boss class Space Marine. He's just a Space Marine, the kind that you throw into battle and send them to their death, the cannon fodder kind, the kind that you get 9 of in a tactics game. Like, it's no big deal, right? You think this guy's nothing. But when you see him show up, and he's in his standard battle armor, and your crew of humans are standing there with their, like, pea shooters and stuff, I'm like, oh, fuck. There's no way I can kill this guy. This guy's a fucking death machine. And it kind of like, that's one of the things I like best about Rogue Traders, because it really puts the 40k universe in a very different perspective. You spend a lot more time talking to people. You understand the Psychers, you understand more about what the warp is about. You understand more about how the Imperium works. But like this specific thing, this very iconic moment of Space Marines where you're bored with it. Like it's so vanilla and run of the mill. You don't even think twice about it. But when they put it in this perspective where you are not the Space Marine, you're the guy that's about to get fucking pasted by the Space Marine. You're like, oh dude, this guy's crazy. And in the very first round, he killed 2 of my party members right off the bat. Boom, boom, boom. Killed them. I had a party of 6. I was down to 4 in the very first round before I could do anything. And I'm like,
Damn.
oh shit. And I'm scrambling. Dude like kicks me across the fucking screen. And like one of my main characters goes flying off the side. And then he's got his chainsaw sword, like smokes one of my other guys. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's so fucking tough. And it was amazing because, I mean, not amazing to get my ass kicked, but it was amazing to see this thing that we have known and had this conception of in our minds for so long, but to be able to see it in this completely different perspective, to
Yeah.
really see like, oh dude, if there was 100 of these guys, they could destroy America, man. Like they'd take over the world. Like there's no way you could stop these guys. So it was just really cool to see that thing from a different view, rather than the God's eye view. You're getting it from like the ant's eye view. And that's a very different perspective.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's also based on the style of game, right? Because it's a
Yeah.
turn-based one. You have a lot of time for dialogue. You can learn more about that universe and the people and the characters.
Exactly.
But then also like it's a place for them to show the comparison. I think you could do that with a lot of characters from games. Now I'm thinking about
Oh
it.
yeah.
Like
if you were like, yeah, you could do like if you were like a goblin and then all of a sudden like Link shows up and like decimates your whole village or something like that, or
or like Bowser is just in real life. Although was he in? Remember the Super Mario Odyssey where they had the regular world? That was interesting because Mario was much shorter than regular humans.
Yeah, he looked like a weird mutant or something. That was pretty funny, yeah.
And so, Bowser in that world would be crazy. So, yeah, interesting.
Yeah, just the juxtaposition of something like that is, I think, really interesting because we get so used to thinking of things in certain, game terms or whatever. But when you really take a step back, some of the stuff, it was just pretty incredible. It was pretty incredible to get that moment, and I think that's so far one of my best moments. I mean, the guy like completely destroyed my party, but it was so cool to be like, oh, these guys really are badasses.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it now. I get it.
That's
like
who
I
those
never really
guys
got
are.
it before. So,
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, folks, that's all we got for housekeeping. We're about to get to the main portion of the show, but before we do that, just want to remind you quickly, I know we've kind of mentioned it a little bit already. You can support the podcast by going to patreon.com/the So Video Games Podcast. Every little bit helps with the cost of hosting and etc. And if you chip in at the $5 level, you'll be invited to the Discord that we keep talking about. So we will not ever hold any content back. There's no paywalls. You'll never miss a show. There's no secret shows or anything like that. But if you do want to join us in the Discord, chip in at the $5 level, we will welcome you aboard. You can join our growing community of cool folks who talk about games pretty much all the time. So There we go. I think that's it for the opening. I don't think I'm missing anything. Okay, let's move on, Carlos, to the main portion of the show. We don't do this too often, but every once in a while the stars align and we both play the same game at the same time.
Yes.
And I think that happened this week. We are going to be talking about Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown. Now, we did get a code for this from Game Critics, but it went to Jared. And he is currently working on a review. I'll share his early thoughts in a moment. Spoiler free, of course. We are respecting all embargoes. Although, actually, isn't the embargo over?
Well, if the demo's out, we're just going to be talking about the demo, so we can say anything we want about that damn thing.
That's true. I'm just trying. Well, when you're talking about, I'm going to double check the embargo because he did have some comments, but I wasn't sure if I could share them. I'll look it up. Anyway, there is a demo. So I played the demo. Carlos played the demo. We've got some thoughts, and I'm going to let you lead off, Carlos. And while you're leading off, I'm going to check that embargo date to see if I can share Jared's comments or not. So
okay.
Go ahead and kick it off, man.
There's not much to say too much. It's a pretty short demo. I didn't beat it, but I can give you my first impressions. But yeah, I saw a lot of the footage about this game before the demo came out. It is a kind of a reimagining and also staying faithful to the original Prince of Persia's, which was 2D Metroidvania, but back in before, I guess it was Metroidvania. I mean, that is a long, old game, Prince of Persia.
Oh, yeah. Hell, like way, way long time ago.
Yeah. And so, the original was you run left to right and, can go up ledges. And there was some combat, but it was more about like traversing and looking really realistic and jumping over, cliffs and stuff and watching out for traps. So this one is taking that same style of 2D, running around left and right, up and down, but like adding tons of good combat. So lots of combos, lots of like attack up, attack down moves. They have parrying. Great. I'm really excited.
Yeah.
I didn't parry once, by the way. Not once. They told me to, but I just did the dodge because the dodge is not bad. But I don't want to parry in this game, so that was a little frustrating.
Yeah.
There was a couple like bigger boss or like enemies or something that made you parry a little bit, but I mostly got by with just dodging. And yeah, there's like a bow and arrow as your secondary. So you can basically do blades as your main weapon. And then you can do bow and arrow and you can do, that's great for range, but it's also just good in a pinch. And the other thing that's really cool about traversal is you can jump on those little ledges where you spin around, and you can kind of aim where you're going to land.
Yeah, you can, like, if you want to go up or down or left or right when you're spinning on that pole
On those
or
little
whatever.
poles. Yeah. So that was cool. Everything just feels good. The art is, okay. It fits. I wouldn't call it like cartoony, but it's definitely like a
Stylized for sure.
Yeah. And everything just feels good. The sliding feels good too. I think the controls feel great. So that's my pro. As you can hear, there's a little bit of negative here. It's just that, this thing happens on our show a lot because we're like ancient men and we've played every game.
We have, and we are.
Ancient Men is a good podcast name.
That's a pretty good one. I'm going to write that down.
And so, like, I've said this on the show before, there's certain genres I'm just not going to play anymore. Like a shmup, a shooter, whatever, where you go, you're on the bottom, you shoot up.
Yeah, like a vertical scrolling shooter.
Yeah,
sure.
like I can't play those anymore, even if they look good. A couple games I just can't do. And this is another one of those. I've said it before, like Metroidvanias in general, even Hollow Knight, which is great. I just can't do too much of that. That backtracking, you have to go get something before you can get to the gate and open it. Man, it just bothers me. And again, I played all of them when they came out, when it was original,
Sure.
But I think that not enough is being done in this game that makes me want to keep doing it. And I did find a bunch of places I couldn't get, and I had to go somewhere else. I did get lost once because it was like I opened all the gates, I thought, but all the places I had to go were that blue wall, that little like kind of blue crystal wall.
Yeah.
And so I just literally, that's when I ended up stopping because I had cleared, I think, the whole map, and I couldn't find what the next thing was to do. I got past that. I went to the city and stuff like that. But I don't know. I just got bored.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I mean, this is one of those rare times when I think we are completely in tune about this game. I will say, so, I mean, yeah, I basically agree with everything you said. I mean, I honestly didn't realize it was a Metroidvania at first because it doesn't really seem like it from the trailers. It seemed like an action game where I thought we were going to just mostly be going from left to right or maybe doing a lot of jumping and stuff. But when I realized it was a Metroidvania, I was like, oh no, like I mean, I'll play them once in a while. It is not my favorite genre by any means. I think there's too many of them. I think a lot of them do too many of the same things. Like, like Hollow Knight. I enjoyed Hollow Knight, but like I want to play like maybe like one Metroidvania like a year. I don't enjoy that genre that much, right? Yeah. And so when I realized it wasn't just a straight action game, I was actually a little bit crestfallen.
I didn't think you thought it was. That's interesting. I mean, kind of feel like I knew that from the beginning.
I don't know. I mean, I wasn't following it closely. I just remembered seeing the first trailer and I was like, oh, that looks cool, big boss, and it's got scorpion tail and you're jumping and combos. That seems okay. And then it was like, oh, back and forth and there's a map and I'm like, I just don't like Metroidvanias anymore. I just don't enjoy them that much. I mean, I'm not ruling them out. I'm not saying never, but it's got to be a pretty special one, and I don't think this one quite cleared the bar. The art was just like okay. It kind of felt kind of mid to me, and it's weird because I'm not familiar with like Persian culture or that aspect of their mythology or anything. But when I was watching it, I'm like, this feels kind of like a Bollywood production or something, like all these big personalities and everybody's big and they're kind of joking with each other. It reminded me of some Indian films I've seen, and I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's a big difference between India and Persia, or what, Iran is what it is now. So I'm not trying to
of course.
I'm not trying to lump these together or anything. I'm just saying, like, in terms of style, it just felt like not what I was expecting, I guess. And I just was like, oh, I don't know if I dig this or not. I do like some Bollywood stuff, so I'm not criticizing that. But
I do too. It's just not knowing what the vibe was.
Yeah,
I think both of us did that.
The vibe just was like, I don't know, something about that. Too much combo combat, and I will say I did not appreciate the parrying at all. And I think it's a bad parry system because not only do you have to parry, but when there are more than one enemy on screen, and often there are, you can't parry because you parry the first guy, the second guy stabs you. Yeah. And it kind of defeats the whole point of having a parry because you want to slowly look at your opponent, and you can even do it fast if you want, but it's usually like a one-on-one, timing thing, a skill thing. And if there's two guys in front of you, one guy in back of you, who are you supposed to parry? You pick one, you can parry one, the other two guys get you. So that part felt like a complete, like, why are you even doing this? That doesn't make any sense. But just like too much combat, I was like, I don't want to do a Metroidvania. I don't want to do all this kind of combat. I got to the tutorial guy or whatever, and he was like showing me the combos and stuff. I'm like, I don't want to do that. And I just like, it just was like I'm not the customer for this game. I'm just not the customer for this game. I don't think this is going to click with me, and I'm a little bit disappointed because I was really looking forward to a platforming adventure, and I'm sure that there's lots of platforming in it, but not like this, right? Not like this.
You know what? I think I'm going to back you up because I do think that maybe I thought it was a little more just left to right.
That's
You know
kind of what
I
I
mean?
was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, like an Odin sphere or something.
Yeah.
Where you go left to right, maybe you go up and down on a level, but you're not like having to go back.
Yeah.
And on top of that, to add to your combat thing, not to pile on, but a lot of like just regular ass enemies have a lot of hit points.
Yeah.
Because I was juggling, you can juggle enemies.
Yeah.
So I was juggling this one guy for a long time, and I'm like, "Are you gonna die?" And then he lands and he gets back up, and I'm like, "I think I killed you." Because I used my swords and hit you in the air like 15 times,
Yeah.
So that seemed like just buffer. Like, why do you want to keep him alive for so long?
Yeah.
And then I got like cheap hits too. The thing from like underneath you.
Yeah.
I would
yeah,
get hit and stuff. So I was let
anytime
down.
anybody starts juggling in a combat system, that's usually when I check out because I'm like, that means you're leaning too much into the button combo mashy
Right?
stuff, and that's
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
And some people really dig that, the Devil May Cry stuff or whatever. Some people really love that, and it's just not my jam. I just don't enjoy that. So, I will say one good thing about this. I will say I really, really actually thought the map marker system was good. There's lots of little notations on the map. Some of them are automatic, and some of them you can do yourself. You can take a little picture, screenshot of
snapshot,
certain
yeah.
sections, which I think is great because sometimes you want to be like, what was the thing I was looking for here? Oh, it was this thing, this treasure chest, or this ledge I couldn't reach or something. So that was great. I think so I guess number one, I don't want to traverse a big map at all, but if I had to, this would be a good way to do it. Like there's like lots of little arrows and icons, and the snapshot picture that you can take a screenshot of is cool. So that was really good. And I'm glad that Prince of Persia still exists because I was a big fan of the earlier games. Not the first one. That was not fun. But when Ubisoft kind of revitalized it the first time, Sands of Time and like that whole trilogy, I had a really good time with all of those. And even the one that came afterwards on 360 where he had like the big claw in his hand. That was a weird one, but I still enjoyed that one as well.
And those were all third person though, right? I
Yeah,
think.
they all are third person. Yeah, like behind the back kind of a thing. So I like the IP. I would be up for that, but I don't think this is the one for me. Now, I'm looking at it looks like to me like the embargo's down. I see like 85 reviews for this game, so I think I'm probably safe to talk about this. And I don't want to speak for Jared. Jared Johnston, one of the writers over at Game Critics, but he did give me a little insight earlier. The first time I asked him about this, I'm like, so, hey, what do you think of this game? Is it worth me spending some money on? The first time he talked to me, he's like, oh my God, this is like a total mid as fuck, like, Metroidvania. He's like, oh, I'm so bored of it. I'm like, okay, that's kind of what I was thinking maybe. But then he came back like the next day. He's like, whoa, no. He's like, it's actually amazing. It's so good. Once you get past like some certain point, he's like, oh, the platforming kicks in and it's super adrenaline. It's really good. I could totally change my mind. It's excellent. I'm like, okay, so shit. That's maybe true. So he did a total 180. He sounded just like you and I did for the first couple hours, but then he came back and he could not say enough good things about it, which I guess is fine. But the problem for me is how much of that do I need to push through? And also B, I don't push through things anymore. Like just give me your good experience. And let me have fun from the beginning. I don't want to put in several hours before it gets good. So he may be true. There may be something great to this. And I'm seeing the reviews on Metacritic and I'm like, there's a lot of really high scores. So maybe it gets better. But for me personally, I think I will take my walking papers here. I don't think I'm going to try to get invested in it. I've got a lot of other stuff to play and I don't want to not have fun for a couple hours before I can have fun maybe.
Yeah. And plus, the next demo I'm about to talk about it did the opposite. It was like, no, I'm in, and you can tell.
Yeah, for sure. So, all right. Sounds like we're both maybe out of Lost Crown.
I'm out.
I'm out too. But look for a review at GameCritics.com because, like I said, Jared was cold on it and then he super heated up and I think he currently loves it. So maybe they just had a pacing problem. Maybe they should have started bigger. Who knows? I don't know. So there we go. All right, that was Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. Moving on to another demo, Granblue Fantasy Relink Rising.
No Rising. Rising.
No
Rising.
Oh, there's no Rising?
Yeah, it's just a
okay.
relink.
My bad.
Yeah.
Granblue Fantasy Relink. Carlos, tell us about this game.
I don't know about the RPG series, by the way. Have you ever heard Granblue?
I have heard a lot about Granblue, but it's one of those things I've always avoided. I just never wanted to get into it. So
okay, I just didn't know about it. I play almost every RPG, but that's one series I never played. They had a fighting game that just came out, and I talked about it on the show and liked it. So this is the actual RPG. It's an action RPG, third person, run around, hit things, and it's an RPG.
Cool.
So that's it. And the demo came out, and I like it. But no, like I was just saying, a perfect segue is that like this is the demo where like as soon as I played it, I was like, yeah, I want to keep doing this for like 50 hours or something. All the systems feel good. The characters and the models look good, and it just feels fun to play. Like that's it at the end of the day. So unlike Prince of Persia, I just want to play a lot of this game. And so it comes out at the end of the month, by the way, January. So I will be picking that up. But yeah, what is it? It's in the demo, they do a very interesting thing. They're actually focusing a little bit on online stuff. So there's three things you can do in the demo. You can do tutorial, which just shows you how to fight. Then the second one is story. So about an hour of the actual story they show you.
Okay.
And in that, you do the game itself. So you fight monsters, level up, find things, do chests and stuff. And so you feel the hook of the game. The third section is online, which of course, I didn't play. But I like that it's there. And basically, if you do that, you can play like the not free to play, but the games as service games, where you kind of
Gotcha.
go with people to beat a big boss or something.
Sure.
So this game has both of those in it, which I think is kind of a smart way to do it, where it's got a one-player campaign for, 60, 70 hours probably, and you can just play that. But they're adding the online component so you can do fun questing with friends if you want to. So I won't, but I like that they separated it. So it's not like I have to be part of that world. So that's interesting. I wasn't expecting that. Other than that, yeah, when you finish the demo, it gives you some like gifts. So when you actually play the game, you get those gifts, which is cool.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But the game itself is, you and party members. I can't say too much of the story because they just drop you in kind of in the middle. But you're like saving villagers and fighting monsters. And all your party members are doing their own thing, just like a Final Fantasy 15 or whatever game has AI companions. And they all doing good fighting.
They doing good fighting.
Bad English. They doing good fighting. That's a good podcast name too. Yeah, they fight well. They, don't run off and get stuck places and stuff. They seemed pretty good. And, there's general RPG fighting. There's combos, all that stuff. Hit right one and hit circle, and you do a special flame move and stuff. So there's a lot of fun combat, a lot of combos, some bosses that have a lot of health that I encountered, and a lot of special moves that your team can do together, which I always like. Like Star Ocean did a lot of that.
Yeah.
Where hit a certain button at a certain time, we're all charged up. Tales of Arise did it too. And now we're doing this crazy combo. All of it just felt really fucking fun. The dodge, by the way, it's not a dodge roll. It's like a dodge jump where the character jumps up in the air and then also spins away. It feels really good. And I just always felt, just fun having, fighting in the game. Then the other thing is they do, they do this thing where if you get, there's these secret chests and there's these little mini games within them, and they just made me kind of annoyed. Where go collect all the crystals in a line. Remember that shit in games?
Yes.
That thing needs to get out of games, dude. Just get out of games. Every time you're almost the last thing you got to collect and you fall and you have to do it all over again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, that's a mechanic in the game that I probably won't play. None of the special chests I'll go get. Because if they're that, I don't want to do it. That's one of the only things I didn't like. And I guess the other thing is it's very busy. So if there's 5 or 6 monsters you're attacking and your whole party's doing stuff, it's just all over the place, right?
No, just a screen full of just happening.
It's a lot of screen, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think it's just a little tricky when you had aiming on certain targets. You have to hit that right button or whatever it is, trigger or something. It just seemed I got a little lost here and there. But it doesn't matter because everything feels so good and feels so fun, and I'm just a sucker for games that are action RPGs done well. So I'll play it. I know I will. It's almost similar to that. What's it? What's it? Valhalla? Not Valhalla. Oh man, the one with the woman.
Valkyrie?
Yeah, you know everything.
Valkyrie, whatever that was. Yeah.
That one. The minute I played that, I was like, I love how it feels. The
Valkyrie
combat.
Profile something? No, that's not right.
No, it's not right. But
it's in that series though.
Yes, yeah. Now what is it?
Anyway,
Valkyrie.
I don't
Anyways,
remember.
so it's that same thing, right? I played that demo too, and I was like, okay, I'll buy it. So I just love the feel of Granblue, and I think that if you like action RPGs that are not Diablo, the old school action RPG, the other game I'm excited about, Visions of Mana, which is like Trials of Mana. It felt like that too. So yeah, not much to say about it. It's a demo. It was only an hour long.
Well,
but
pretty positive though. Seems like the demo did what it was supposed to do and sold you.
yeah, and not like Prince of Persia.
Yeah.
It really was just like, yeah, I like these kind of games. There's some messiness. I'm not going to ever do those chests. But besides that, I'll buy it. Yeah, I'll buy it.
Well, there you go.
Unless we
Good
get a
demo.
code. Unless we get a code.
I mean, I can look into it. So we'll
I
see.
can look into it.
All right, that was Granblue Fantasy Relink, and I'm assuming PS5. Yes,
Yeah, PS5, PS4. I don't know if it's on all the systems. I should have looked. But
it might be PC, PS. I think that I could be wrong, but I believe that's where that one falls.
Okay.
So we'll see. All right, let me talk for a minute about War Hospital.
Oh no!
Oh no! Why? What?
By the way, another behind-the-scenes podcast moment, which we
What?
do a lot of.
Yes.
When we set up the show every week, I tell Brad what my games are. I'm just realizing this, so he
Yes.
can put it in a list, and we can know
Get the
how
script
we're
for
gonna
the
talk
show,
about it.
right?
The script, yeah.
Yeah.
You never tell me your games.
Rarely. I rarely do.
Yeah, almost never. So when you tell one, and that's why people listening hear this now, I'm shocked lots of times because I'm like, wait, you played that?
I did.
Yeah, either because I saw it in the store, or for this case, it seems like a downer.
Oh,
War
yeah.
Hospital, the game?
Yes.
No thanks is my thing, but tell me what you thought about
Okay,
it.
so let me tell you what this is first, and then I'll tell you why I played it, and I'll tell you what I think of it. So,
Okay, yes.
War Hospital, what is it? It's kind of a top-down, kind of a simulation management game where you are in World War One, and you're in a town. I don't know where you're at exactly. England, I guess. And the whole town is like muddy and gray because everything's war's going on. You're not any one person. You're kind of just like I don't know, the god managing the hospital where you make decisions, but you're not really like a specific person. You're just
It's a sim game. It's like
the
a
sim. You're like
Frostpunk
an
or
overseer.
something.
Yeah, you're just like you're the cursor, the magic cursor, or whatever. So you've got like hospital. You've got people in stretchers bringing little mangled bodies in. You've got pharmacy you need to keep running. You've got a train that brings supplies and stuff. Everything's muddy and gray and brown. It's just like it looks like hell. So why did I choose this game? I'm not really a war game guy. I'm not really like a sim guy. Why did I play this? Because it looks very much like one game that is a sim game that I fucking love. Do you remember what that is, Carlos?
I just said it, Frostpunk.
Frostpunk,
Yeah.
exactly.
I quietly said it.
Yeah, I mean, not to be too overt about it, but I'm going to just be really clear. I really only chose this game because it looks like it's trying to be Frostpunk, and I love Frostpunk. It's so good. So I'm like, okay, this seems like I haven't played Frostpunk in a while. There's not many of them that are like that are that good, and it looks like this is definitely taking lessons from that. I'm going to give this a shot.
That
So
makes
that's
sense.
what got me into it, right? So it's not Frostpunk, not even close. I think it's trying to be. I definitely think it's trying to be, but I don't think they got there. This one, long story short, this feels like it needs like at least 6 months or a year more in the oven to like file off some of the rough edges, to like add some content to make it a little bit more compelling. Because basically, when you start off, there's like lots of little irritations. The text is really small, and like I'm playing on when I review games on console, my TV is fucking big. I mean, it's like it's like 60-inch or something. Like it's a really large TV.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Is that big? Is that big? Is it not big?
I
feel
think
like that's big.
mine might be 48 or 50. Yeah.
I got it on sale. I'm not rich. I went to like one of those Black Friday
Oh.
sales a couple years ago.
Dude, you don't have to be rich to get a big TV nowadays. They're like all $600 or less.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
all right. Regardless, I didn't spend like, a bunch of money. It was affordable. But anyway, it's huge. It's huge. It's like the biggest TV I've ever owned. And I'm squinting to see the text on this screen, dude. And you can't adjust the text size. So I can only imagine what it would be like if you were playing this on like a smaller TV. Like there's no way you'd be able to read the text. It's way too small. So that was a problem. I think the pictures were not clear. The pictures are pretty small, like the profiles of the characters you have, the doctors and the nurses you have. And also the thing that was really difficult for me was like they don't really seem to have put a lot of work into the UI, where when you're in like the map view mode, when you're looking at all your different buildings, your hospital, your surgery center, your nursing center, stuff like that, there's no reticle. Like you can't see what you're pointing at. And then when I guess there's an invisible reticle, but you can't see it. And when you manipulate it over the thing that you're going to select, there's only a very slight lightening of the outline of the building. If you're not, it's very hard to see if you've selected the building or not. And I'm like, oh, am I in the mud? Am I in the building? Where's my fucking? How do I know what I'm selecting? And I'll go over to this thing and try to select the hospital, and I'm like, I'm on the mud, and I can't. I'm like, where's the reticle? I can't find it. So that's a problem. There's lots of like little issues there. There's not very many options in the settings, which I think is a problem as well. But basically, it feels like it wants to be Frostpunk in World War One, where it's like grim situation. Men are getting sent to us from the front line. They're all blasted. We've only got like so many doctors. The doctors are exhausted. We don't have enough drugs. What do? We got to make some hard choices. Who do we surgery on? Who do we not surgery? Who can be saved? Who can't be saved? And then when you save some people, you got to decide to send them back to the front line or send them home. So it seems like ripe for a lot of the kind of decisions that I found so compelling in Frostpunk. Just put a pin in that for now. If you don't know what Frostpunk is, just hang on just a second, because I will get to it like in a few moments. So just hold on to that. So I'm starting to play this, but I think the difference between this game and Frostpunk is the narrative. I mean, number one, besides all the roughness and stuff, but like in Frostpunk, it's sim, you know, you're managing your heat and you're in a frozen area. You got to like build some stuff, but like there's always human elements. There's like people who are like, oh, the workers are on strike. Okay, what do they want? They want this other thing, or oh, hey, this guy got hurt. What do you want to do with this guy? And like they keep offering you these little human elements that really get you in. And they also do a good job of communicating the overall situation of like, oh shit, we've only got 15 days before bad stuff happens. We really got to get this stuff done. And like, it feels pressure and you're rushing to this kind of thing. In this game, I didn't care about anything. Like, I know it's supposed to be about, you know, who gets saved on the surgery table, who doesn't, who gets the drugs, who doesn't get them, who gets amputated, who doesn't. I didn't give a fuck. It was like all just like little menu things and people that I didn't care about. And these, you know, just menus and stuff and things. It wasn't human. It didn't have gravitas to it. And a lot of times I felt like there was like nothing happening, where I was just like waiting for something to click through, or I'd select a few things and I'm just kind of just sitting there just watching it. And I'm like, this is like, nothing's going on. Like nothing's happening. I don't feel like I'm doing anything. Like I'm not really invested in any way. It just needed more human element. It needed more focus. It needed more drive. It needed more blood and guts to make you care about what you're doing. Like I think it's on the right track, right? I think this is the right subject material. I think this is the right tone. I think the visual style is really good. Like when you look at it, just screenshots, you're like, ooh, that looks pretty grim. And if you know what Frostpunk is like, you're like, okay, I get the vibe. I get where they're going for. That makes sense. So I think certain things in this game are really on track. I just don't think it's there yet. I think it needs, you know, better UI, better storytelling, better pacing. It just doesn't feel done to me. And I think it's just not keeping my attention in any way. So
let me offer up an alternative theory.
Yeah.
Even not having played the game, but just knowing you and hearing that review or preview, is Frostpunk had like, again, if it's dystopian and there's a little element of like fantasy almost in a way.
A little bit, yeah, steampunk sort of thing.
Yeah, there's something that you can grasp onto. You know, there's like a narrative, or there's an idea, or there's something unique. And I think a game like these need that. Yeah. This is Return to World War One, so I disagree with you. Just to disagree.
Sure.
That the setting is right, because I'm fucking over that. Like, let's move past these damn wars that were terrible and shitty, and just, I don't know, do anything else. So I don't care that it's World War One, and you know, I do care about, like, you know, the hard work that goes on in hospitals is important. So that'd be cool to have maybe a futuristic hospital or something else, or a story, like you said, that goes through this hospital. Right. But if there's not enough narrative, there's not enough reason, then it's just like a depressing thing you're doing.
True. No, I think that's true. And I do want to be clear. I think this could work. I think it could have worked for me even, but like you said, I think I needed like a main character or something. I needed like, something. Oh, Dr. So-and-so is struggling with something and you need to help them get through this. Or maybe it's like the first woman doctor in World War One and she needs to make the hard calls or something.
There you go.
You know, anything like that I think would have really gotten me in. It just feels like you're doing a bunch of menu work and you have this general concept, but it's not coming together. You aren't feeling it. You're not really like worried about anything. It just felt like, okay, I'll just move some guy over here and move this thing over here and a guy over there and the timer. Well, okay, I'll move this thing and like it just did not grab me. But I think it could. I really think it could. It just needs more time in the oven. I don't think it's there yet. So,
all right.
That is War Hospital. That one is a miss for me, but I think maybe, you know, again, maybe 6 months in a year might be something really to come back to. So we'll see. All right, Carlos, one of your 2 backlog games. You're really leaning into our New Year's resolution, which I appreciate. Sleeping Dogs. We talked about this briefly, I think, last episode. I've played it. I think I played maybe like half, and I'm curious to see what you think now that you're coming back to it after I would probably guess a pretty substantial amount of time.
Yeah, we can look up. We didn't look up I didn't do homework. When did it come out? We can look that
I'll
up.
look it up. You talk, I'll look it up.
It came out a long time ago. I mention it on the show a lot when we talk about open world games. I literally mentioned it last episode, and I said something like, "Yeah, you don't like that game because you don't like open world games, do you, Brad?" And you said,
Not
"No."
really, no. 2012. 2012.
Okay. See. Oh wait, wasn't the other game that we just talked about
2012.
I Am Alive?
I'm going to check that one right now.
I think it was 2012. That's crazy.
That's the year of the backlog, I guess.
So, anyways, what is it? It's an open world game where it's like a GTA.
Yep, 2012, both of them.
Oh my goodness, that's so weird.
That was a weird coincidence.
I didn't plan that. Is it Ubisoft? No.
Ubisoft is I Am Alive. The other one is not.
I'm looking it up because I don't like the fact that I don't know that.
United Front Games,
United
Feral
Front
Interactive.
Games?
Yeah.
What the hell? So it was published by Square Enix. And I do not know what United Front Games is or Feral Interactive. But whoever they are, we should see if they're still around.
I'm looking it up.
I think they did an incredible job.
Mod Nation Racers, Sleeping Dog, Little Big Planet Karting, Tomb Raider Definitive Edition, Halo Master Chief Collection, Disney Infinity 3.0. Yeah, so they did a lot of porting work, and then they did a couple of their own games.
Wow, that's interesting. So yeah, it is a open world game. You play as an undercover, couldn't say that word, detective, Wei Shen. And you're actually, you're not in America. Where are you? Oh my goodness.
Are you in Hong Kong or something like
Hong
that?
Kong, I think.
I think it's Hong Kong.
Hong Kong is your playground, yes. And so you were in America and you became a cop at some point. So you go back to Hong Kong and, you have a lot of friends there, but you're undercover. So you're pretending to be part of the gangs there.
Yeah.
And so you can basically get information for the cops. So it's an interesting, flip, because it's not just like go and join a gang and be the best gang person. It's like, no, you're actually trying to get these people arrested, which is kind of nuts. And I remember now, because in that first playthrough I played when it came out, you actually do a little bit of relationship stuff too, because you meet a person and there's fun dates and stuff you go on. There's a lot more than just fighting.
Right, right.
And so I remember that story being really fun. It felt like a little bit like Karate Kid at times. The story does, I think.
Yeah. I will say that the concept of being undercover is something that we don't do a lot in games. I think
Right.
If I remember correctly, there was aspects of where you had to kind of maintain your cover. Like you had to do some bad things to kind of make the bad guys think that you were bad, and sometimes you had to do things to protect your cover.
Yeah.
So that's something that I think is that people could lean into a little bit more. We don't see a lot of that.
We don't. And also, I think the combat's very good. So it's third person, GTA game. And there's something that also a lot of open world games don't do much, which is there's kill moves within the environment. So when you grab people, you can obviously do combos, punch, kick, all that kind of stuff. There's guns at some point. But you can grab people, grapple with them, and then if you see something in the environment, like a trash can or a soda machine,
that's right.
Yeah, you can literally put them in there, smash them into it, and it's an instant kill.
Yeah, kind of like Yakuza. We don't see that feature
it's a
very often
Yakuza
either.
thing. Yes,
yeah,
it is.
exactly. Yeah.
So just going back to it was like, oh my goodness, this is fun as shit to play. It feels really good when you kill that last guy or girl and anybody in the fight. It does that slow motion thing,
Nice.
Love
Satisfying.
it. It's very satisfying. And the gunfights are, okay. I actually like punching and kicking a lot more than doing that. But then the driving feels fun. There's bikes. There's something else that's kind of from a John Woo film or something, or martial arts films, is what there's those chase scenes, which you can get bored of in games. But these ones, just all the pacing and the setup for those chases are great. Where you do that move where you jump across, a counter, and it does that kind of slide move.
Yep.
But there's physics and stuff, so you smash people's sushi where you're jumping over tables, and they set up, what are they? They're called set pieces, right?
Yeah.
They set up those chase set pieces so fun that every other game I'm bored of them or get mad or I die, And in this game, I liked every time there was a chase scene. I was like,
yeah, this is one where you can chase guys down alleyways and they throw boxes in your way. You got to jump over the boxes and dodge over the dumpsters
through windows.
And stuff, right? Yeah, it looks like a martial arts action sequence. It does,
yeah, or a funny comedy because lots of times you're people are just going what the hell? They're holding that plate glass window walking by, and you're like, chooch.
Exactly.
There's so many times I capture footage of me just ruining people's day. I think that's a TikTok, by the way, that's coming. Glitch to the ground.
I'm looking forward to these clips. Yes.
Carlos ruins people's day in Sleeping Dogs because it's just so easy to do. There's, people are holding things, they drop them when you hit them. So minus the world being fun and alive, and I think it's 2012 and it's a really good open world. It feels open, and those NPCs are really doing a lot of things. And it feels like Hong Kong, and there's Cantonese, so it's like most people are speaking English mixed with Cantonese, and it just feels legit. There's also like games and there's cockfights, which I will not do. And there's karaoke.
Oh man, I forgot about that. Yeah,
I know.
Yep.
I never did those. But there's karaoke and stuff. And man, oh man, it's a fucking great game. I'm glad I went back to it because I cannot believe, and I'm disappointed in myself, that I never beat it. I don't know why now, because as I'm playing it again, I'm like, oh my goodness. It also came with DLC. One is a literally non-canon version where it's vampires.
I was just going to say that because you got the definitive edition. Though.
Yeah,
so you got
everything.
everything.
Yeah. And I never played the vampire one ever. I didn't even touch it.
I think I have played the vampire one.
Did you?
Yeah,
Was it fun?
Now that you're talking about it, I do. I mean, I just don't like GTA games that much, but I think you're talking about, I'm like, oh, maybe I did like this one. But I remember not finishing it, but I did play the DLC, and I did play a pretty good amount of it. Maybe I should go back to it too.
Maybe. Oh my goodness.
Maybe.
It just, everything it hits right because it's doing things just a little bit differently, and it doesn't feel, especially those story bits feel really good, and you feel invested immediately, and then you get put into prison, and you're like, I don't know, it just feels smart. And I remember that I had a date once, and I was like driving a girl on the back of a bike, and that was for my first playthrough. So anywho, I just love it. And I think I'm just going to go beat the original game because not only is there the vampire DLC, but there's a part 2 DLC. So like a continuation of the story.
Okay. Gotcha.
That you get from the definitive edition, which by the way, not a sponsor of the show, but it's on Steam as well. Definitive edition is like $20 now. So holy shit, I'm just so glad I picked this one to go back to. And I'm going to beat it.
Something is really fun about coming to games like this several years later. I always say the best time to play a game is like 6 months after or a year after. Maybe the best time to play is like 11 years after.
Jeez.
Or even 12 years after. Because, you're going back, you're paying $20, which is in the world of video games, not a very big sum. And you're getting like the complete thing after it's already been polished to fuck. You get all the DLC and you're having a good time, right? Like if you don't care about the latest, newest thing, it sounds like you're having an excellent experience. I mean, it almost sounds like I should go back and play this again too. And for like a song, I mean, that sounds like a really great thing to do. Of course, you can't just live only on backlog games. I mean, I guess you could, but then the industry would have some trouble if we didn't buy new games. So I'm not saying starve out the developers, but in a situation like this, when the work's been done and it's sitting around and sometimes you want to go back to something older, it's just kind of like, I don't know, kind of like watching an old movie or reading an old book or something.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You don't need to forget that the old things exist, right? So this sounds like a pretty cool thing.
I wouldn't say 11 years though, because the edges of the graphics, the edges of the rough edges of the AI and stuff, it's totally visible.
Sure.
And like we're right up against, kind of up
There's
against.
probably like a Best Buy date, and it's probably,
right
before it becomes unplayable because it's too ugly or too rough.
Yeah, because GTA 6, it's like right around, not, around the corner a couple of years or whatever. That thing's going to like destroy when it comes to like, or just change people's minds about open world and graphics and AI and stuff. So I think there's a time limit for that. But yeah, even if I would have played this like a few years after, I probably would just beat it because it is really, really good. But all that said, everything holds up. Like it all feels fun. And the ruining people's day is like one of my favorite things to do in this game because the AI like really reacts to being hit. Like if you're like bumping into them, they're like, what the hell? Only, in Cantonese, basically.
Right, right.
So I love this game. I highly recommend. Great backlog.
Excellent. Well, that sounds like a winner, dude. It sounds like a winner.
It is.
Oh, man. Okay, so good deal. Maybe we'll turn some people on to Sleeping Dogs and they'll go back and play it and have a wonderful experience for $20 and just enjoy the fuck out of that.
They should, yes.
Right on. Okay. My backlog game for this week, as I've kind of already ruined the surprise, is actual Frostpunk. I started playing War Hospital because it looked like Frostpunk, and I'm like, man, does not feel like Frostpunk. But it does feel like Frostpunk. Frostpunk. It does. So I didn't go back to it to play the main campaign because I very rarely ever replay campaigns. Like in the whole history of my life, I can think of maybe like handful of games that I want to replay the campaign. This is not one of them. But Frostpunk had a shitload of DLC, and they were all different like story-based scenarios, which is like my favorite kind of DLC. I love that.
Yeah.
So in Frostpunk, what is it? It is a game, sim, top-down, kind of God's eye view thing, where you're playing the manager of a facility. The whole world is succumbing to global warming, or I guess more accurately, global cooling. The whole world is fucking freezing. It's going into like an ice age, and you're doing your best to hold off the ice age. And how you do this is you build this gigantic fucking generator in the middle of this little circular valley, and the generator powers everything. It powers your machines. It heats your homes. It, powers your surgery centers. It does everything. Like the generator does everything. It is the center of your life, and you've got to keep it going at all costs.
Wait, Brad.
Yes.
Don't you need a generator in your basement then?
I fucking probably do need a generator in my basement. That's absolutely
That could
true.
help you fix things, yeah.
I think I need to get one of those in here. That's a good idea, Carlos.
Thanks.
Good idea. So that's the idea. It's steampunk, quasi-fantasy. And the thing that I really like about Frostpunk is the developers polished the fuck out of it, and they also made it approachable by people who are not sim geniuses already. That's something that has tripped me up in the past, where some people tell me about some sim game or something, and they're like, "Oh man, you should try it. You love it." Okay, cool. And then it's like it relies on all this previous knowledge. You have to have familiarity with the genre. Sometimes a lot of like micromanaging. A lot of stuff where it's hard to read. You got to figure out the stats, and it's like, oh my god, I can't. This is not playable enough for me. But this one really does it. So I am not a sim guy, and for anybody listening, if you are not a sim person, that's okay. This is the sim game that is made for people who are not sim fans, because not only does the UI make sense, plays great on a console. I'm playing on an Xbox, and it's wonderful. I also think they put enough human aspect in it to make you really feel involved. You're not just like crunching numbers on a spreadsheet and stuff. You are seeing the plight of these people. You're seeing people who get frostbite and they become amputees. You're seeing the coal shovelers who are so sick of their working conditions, but they can't stop or else the whole camp dies. You're seeing the ice getting closer and closer every fucking day. You're trying to find food. You're trying to find wood to burn. You're trying to find anything. And just the whole struggle is very well couched. It makes sense. It's very easy to approach. Everything about the game just really comes together. There's all sorts of different options. There's choices. There's skill tree. There's narrative branching. Fucking great, fucking awesome fucking game, dude. I mean, it's like, I don't think that I reviewed it, but if I reviewed it, it would probably be like a 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10.
You should have by the time, how many times you talked about it.
I talk about it all the time, yeah. But
can I add one thing to that?
Yeah.
I think the other thing that's really cool is that it shows the actual people living those lives. Like you can zoom in on little people, which reminds me of The Sims and all those games that I like, where you can see the people living their life, and they even have dialogue.
Yep.
Like you can hear the little people say things. I think that's a huge part of this.
Oh, I agree, dude. You can zoom in to a shocking degree. You can see little individual people. You can click on literally anybody in the fucking city, and it'll be like, oh, Sally Johnson, she lives in a tent. She's fucking cold. Last meal was Tuesday or whatever.
Yeah.
You can find out any of that stuff if you want. You can, I mean, if it's there if you want it, but you totally don't need it. It's not something that the game hinges on. But yeah, you get individual stories. You get voice clips that are accompanied by text that are like, oh, I'm so hungry. I hope the overseer has rations today or something. Or somebody's like, oh,
it just adds to it.
Yeah. The atmosphere is fucking king in this fucking game. So I love Frostpunk. And I was talking to some folks recently in our Discord and also in the Gaming in the Wild Discord. I spent some time over there too. And a lot of people haven't played it. And I was like, oh my God, you guys, everybody listening, you've got to at least try Frostpunk. It's like, if you're going to play only one of those games ever, this is the one to play. Like, it's so good. So anyway, I finished the main campaign, thought it was fucking great. Finished all the DLCs. Like, there's some where it's like, the land shape is different, or sometimes you got limited resources, or sometimes you got not enough people, or like whatever. There's all these little different story scenarios, and they include story, which is great. It doesn't feel like just an exercise. But there's one DLC that I have never finished. It's called The Last Autumn. This is the DLC, which was the very last DLC. This was like the end game for people like me who've been through all the rest of the game. This tells the story of what happened before the ice came. And so it's still warm outside. There's still plenty of food. You can sail in the water because the ocean's not frozen. There's trees and everything. And so this is the story of the rush to build the very first generators before the globe starts getting cold. So I'm like, okay, cool. I've never finished this one. This one is so fucking hard. It makes me want to cry, dude. So regular Frostpunk is difficult, but there's lots of sliders difficulty. You can customize it. I think anybody can finish Frostpunk, no problem. I think most of the DLC is interesting. It's not really necessarily more difficult, but I think it just challenges you in different ways, asks you to think in different ways. I finished all of them, no problem. I think, first or second try, no big deal. The Last Autumn is so fucking hard. It changes up the pace of the game. It changes up the structures. Anything that you know from the main campaign of Frostpunk doesn't quite apply because different factors are a thing. Like motivation of your workers is much more important. You're on a much stricter timeline, and then you're kind of like building things from the ground up. And all the other scenarios, your generator's already built, and you're just managing the functioning of the generator. In this one, you actually have to build it. So there's like toxic gases underground when you're digging out the tunnel. Your workers are complaining as they're getting killed and they're getting hurt. You don't have enough safety features, and then your bosses are constantly in your fucking back about hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Oh my god, dude. I mean, I love it, and I think it's really great. I think I probably tried it 10 times, and I failed it out the first time, and I put it away. I haven't touched Frostpunk for a couple years at least. And I'm like, okay, I need to play some Frostpunk right now because this game kicks ass. And I came back to The Last Autumn. The one thing I haven't done, I think I've played it 4 times, at least 4 or 5 times in the last couple of days, and I have failed it every single fucking time.
Oh man,
dude.
And there's no slider?
It's on the easiest settings. It's all on the easiest
shit.
setting, dude. And I'm like, oh my god. So like, every time you play one of these runs, it's not fast. I mean, it's like a 3-hour, maybe a 4-hour run, depending on how it goes. For me, anyway, it's probably about 3 hours. So I have thrown away 3 hours like 4 or 5 times in the last couple of days. It's making me crazy. But I love this game. I think it's great. And I have to beat this. I have to beat this DLC. I have to. This is like my new Sekiro moment, right? Where I had to beat Sekiro. And we re-chronicled that on the podcast. I came back to it and all that shit. If you want to hear my heartbreak and my headaches and my eventual triumph, you can hear that in the previous episodes. This is my new Sekiro, dude. I have to beat The Last Autumn. I have to do it. I have to.
Yeah, that's tricky because when it gets too difficult and there's not a slider, or you said you use a slider.
I'm on maximum easy sliders, the easiest possible sliders.
I'll just nope the frick out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
By the way, I'm looking at Frostpunk real quick. And yes, to finish your thoughts, everybody should try it because it is fun. And obviously, you bring a game up that many times in the show, people should probably check it out.
It's got to be good. It's got to be good.
But I'm looking at Frostpunk 2.
Yeah,
and a 2024 release date, it says.
That's what they say.
And the graphics are kind of ridiculous, like amazing. So that's happening. And by the way, developer and publisher is 11-Bit Studios. Every time we look this up, I get confused. They can't be the full developer because 11-Bit Studios does 8 million different types of games, and it doesn't seem like the same developer. They did this War of Mine, which
they did.
tracks, but then like Beat Cop, Tower 57, Moonlighter, Children of Morta, all these games we talked about.
I think they were a studio that became a publisher because they got really successful. So I think that, they have kept the name. I think they're just like now an imprint, but I think this is their core team possibly.
Wow, they work on a lot of South of the Circle.
That was a good one too.
The Invincible, which we both didn't care for, but yeah,
it kind of falls in this bucket too, though.
It is. I guess it is that bucket. Moonlighter, I guess, could be in that bucket. It's an interesting bucket, isn't it? They make
some
cool games.
Yeah, exactly. Some cool choices. We don't necessarily like them all, but I think what they go for is always really attractive. I think we like their ideas for sure.
I think we really do. And Frostpunk 2, man, you should be really excited, bro.
Well, I am really excited, but it's got to be one of those games where I'm not going to play it until like 6 months after. Number one, I'm going to wait for a console version. But number two, there's always the inevitable rebalancing. There's always the inevitable repatching. And this is one of those ones where I'm like, no. I really want to get into this. I'm not going to be day one. I want the best possible experience. So I'm going to wait. So I am excited, but I'm going to wait for the best. But I will say, I don't want to scare anybody off. I think if you haven't played Frostpunk, absolutely is like a must play. Like you must play it. I think you can play the main campaign, no problem. You can probably even finish most of the DLCs, no problem. It's worth playing for sure, even if you don't like this style of game, because it's made for people who don't like this style of game. And goddamn it, I will beat The Last Autumn. I have to do it. It's my new white whale. I have to.
So it's a backlog. It's like an extra part of the backlog. And can I go on a tangent real quick?
Yeah, backlog grudge match.
Yeah, grudge match, exactly. It's funny when you say, because we do disagree on that. Like, I don't always say that it's 6 months, a year, or whatever. I don't think that that's the best time to play a game. That's fine. We can agree to disagree. Oftentimes, developers do fix things. But to that point, and to something that I had in housekeeping, I think last week, I didn't get to, organically bring it up now, is, there was a time when there was no fixing games.
Very true.
And the disc was sealed or the cartridge was done, or the PC game was a floppy disk, and it was over, right?
That was it.
I kind of miss that in a way, because not only do a lot of games as services release broken or just say we're going to fix it later in V2 and all that bullshit, that is a thing, a kind of trope or something that developers can get stuck into, where now it's just like kind of shorthand to be like, hey, it's not done, but at least you can play it. And then, of course, early access, affected that too.
Right.
I don't know. I just think that like if we had games that were finished and you couldn't update them anymore with the internet, that would we see games be more finished? Would we see that?
I mean, it feels kind of like a chicken and egg thing to me, right? Because back in the day, when you launched a game and that was it, you were done, like that's all there was. I mean, I think that you had to really put more resources into like bug fixing and polishing, and sometimes you might have the scope a little bit smaller. You couldn't approach a game with the idea of, well, we'll fix it later. And I think that's kind of the things that's crept in. That was one of our great fears. I don't know if you remember this, but before we could download content, before there was like, online gaming and stuff back in those dark days, that was the fear that once we did this online stuff, that developers would start to ship unfinished, more buggy, less polished, because they knew they would have more time after the game launched. And that's exactly what happened. That's literally exactly what happened. Now, some are more guilty of it than others. And also, it's kind of different because we didn't really foresee early access. That's a new thing that's also grown out of this trend as well. Pros and cons, mixed feelings on that, whatever. But I do kind of miss the days when it was like, we got to get this kind of like basically right the first time and kind of launch like that. Now, of course, there's like balancing and stuff, and I'm sure the economics are different, more playtesting beforehand, more polished and stuff. But yeah, that's why I'm often saying now I'm not going to really play anything I really want to play until 6 months after, because I know they're not going to ship it in the best possible state. They don't do that anymore.
Well, some games do, and we could do a list, because I do have a list. I never bring it to the show, but I have a list of games I played when they came out. There was no bugs, and it was fine. It was a great experience. So that exists. I need to put that out there into the ether.
That's fair. It
really does exist. I have many examples, and if you want, I will bring them to the show. But you're right. Like, I just feel like because they know they can get away with it, a lot of times they won't. So, anywho, next game.
Anyway, Frostpunk, fucking amazing. Go play it.
Amazing game.
Last game of the show. Your second. Yeah, last game of the show.
Wow. Already?
Your second backlog game, Path of Exile. We've talked about this many times. I've played it. You played it. The top-down Diablo-like. I think it's a game, is live service game. There's always updates. There's always new content. So I guess what brought you back to Path of Exile, and where are you with it now, Carlos?
So it's ARPG. That's what they like calling these games now. But again, action RPG is weird because it could be a lot of things. But Diablo, it's a Diablo game, right?
Yep.
And it's like you said, it's online, and you can obviously play with other people, but you can also just play solo. And whenever you go to hub towns, you see other people, etc. But it's one of those games where free to play, go in, invest time, and if you want, you can spend some money on some little things, cosmetics, etc. Nothing pay to win, just basically like your lifestyle and the style of clothing and pets, by the way.
Yeah.
So the real answer of why I went back is I was watching, oh my goodness, I forgot her name. I was watching this girl, I watch stream games, and she was playing, her name's Rachel, I forgot her Twitter tag, but she was playing and she had two pets following her, and one was like what was it? Some sort of frog with a helmet, a space helmet. And I was like, what the fuck? And like a chicken or something. I don't know, just two weird looking things following her. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I love that. I'm the person who likes that kind of thing. I don't think I had a pet in Diablo 4, and I played like 200 hours of that game. But in this one, it's been going on forever. We could look at release date as well. Path of Exile's a long time came out.
Yeah, for sure.
And so there's a million pets, right? Like you go to the microtransaction store, which by the way, they don't pull no punches. That's what they call it. They're just like,
they're upfront.
It's just a tab. It's like microtransactions.
This is a store. Do you have money? Because this is a store.
This is a store. And so there's tons of fun stuff to get if you want. I did, by the way, and I'll tell you about it. But yeah, I really went back because one, I saw pets and I was like, oh, I did never really beat that main campaign, and I did like it. And I just played, so much of Diablo 4. Done with that for a while, put that on the shelf, 200 plus hours, I'm done for a bit. The seasons didn't really grab me. So I was like, well, let me go back to Path because Path of Exile 2, I believe, is coming out next year. And I've saw some footage from that. And it looks incredible. So it'd be great to know the ecosystem, right? the gem tabs, all that stuff. So that, and this is a nerdy kind of reason, but when I say okay, I'll beat Path this year, and then I'll, play some DLC or whatever, I'll do some stuff in it, go up the tree, and then when 2 comes out, I'll just be ready. If that makes sense.
You'll just be familiar. You'll know what to do. You'll see the new changes, but you always have the basic information ready and fresh in your brain.
Like a new Diablo season comes out, I know exactly what to do. Or in general, I know where I should focus. So that's the main reason. 2 reasons. One, the pets, but also mainly I just wanted to kind of re-establish that world and understand it, and also just because I hadn't beaten it. So there's some positive and negatives about it. One, the first thing I did was buy pets, and I bought cats.
Of course.
I'm a cat person. And one of the cats is like a spirit cat, and it just floats around and has like rainbows around it. It's amazing. And they don't do anything. They don't attack. They don't do anything at all. They're just
strictly
there.
cosmetic.
Yeah, they can't die, which makes you feel good. And they go hang out in your hideout at some point. But I bring them with me, and I bring 1 cat per trip. And as I'm fighting, it does things, and sometimes it meows. And
can you bring more than 1 cat?
You can't. You can have up to 2 pets following you, I think.
Okay.
So I had both out for a little while, but it gets a little busy on screen. So, anywho, and then I went back to play, and the biggest negative that they fixed in Path of Exile 2 is there's no dedicated dodge roll button, which is crazy in this day and age. Right?
That is pretty. I don't remember that, but that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. And by the way, what's also crazy is the one that is in Diablo 4 has a cooldown. Which is
you get tired. You get tired.
No, it's fucking stupid.
Have you done dodge rolling in real life? You get really tired, dude.
Have we talked about dodge rolling on this podcast, and you're going to try to tell me that I care about that? No,
I'm just saying try. Go to the park, roll around. You'd be like, oh, Brad's right. I got kind of tired. I got to take a break.
I dodge roll once, and I'll hurt myself, okay? So
I'm out of the world's longest cooldown, dude.
Yeah, my cooldown will be go to the hospital. Oh, my goodness.
Physical therapy, 6 months cooldown.
That's a true statement. I need to get in better shape. Anywho, the dodge rolls should not have stamina, and the new one in PoE 2 won't. So they announced that. They're like, we're going to add a dodge roll, and you can just do it. Because it makes the combat fun, Brad. It makes it fun. Trials of Mana, blah, blah, right?
Yeah, and it's got to be fun, right? It's got to be. Why are we even doing this if it's not fucking fun? It's got to be fun.
Well, and also the fun / helpful when you're trying to, play a game for 200 hours and you're trying to do other mechanics in the game. If one mechanic's holding you back, then you can't do the other ones, right?
Exactly,
There's so many other buttons. So that's the one thing I, missed right away is you had to wait for a gem to special power. All the gems, by the way, are special powers, right? So they're either passives or they're actual, like in Diablo, a thing you can do, like a ground pound or a leap in the air or a dodge or whatever.
Right.
So you get the gems, you input them into your different, armors or weapons, and then you have that ability. It's very similar to Diablo. But in this, I feel like there's a lot of gem slots everywhere. And so, the very first thing I had to do was get like shield bash, which means like now I can go across the screen quickly, right? But before that, you're just walking and standing still and fighting.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, it doesn't feel fun that way.
It feels a little crazy. I do remember that thinking like, what the hell is going on? Why am I standing here? This is crazy.
Why am I standing here? There's all these enemies. But what you have to do, because I had to fight my first boss, is that you have to run around the screen and not attack. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
It's like you're not dodging and attacking again. You're like running away.
Running around, yes.
Yeah. So it feels old school. But that said, it's super addictive. I mean, this is why there's communities around these games. It's been
alive for such a long time, too. So obviously successful. They know what they're doing.
What's the release date? Did you look it up? No.
I'm going to look it up right now.
PoE has a massive community. One of those YouTubers I watched, Darth Microtransaction, he started with Diablo. He went back to Path as well. Probably a third reason I went
2013.
Back.
So we are in the 2012-2013 pocket. Yep.
That could be the podcast name, by the way.
Could be.
He went back too, and Darth Microtransaction, and I was like, it was just fun watching him play. So yeah, this game is addictive as shit. I love it, and now that I can move around the screen a little better with some power ups, it's just fun. And here's the last thing I'll say about it: why it's very cool compared to Diablo and some other superhero-y RPGs where you're the main person, to save the whole fucking world and fight Diablo. This game, you are a nobody. You literally, classic wash up on the shore bullshit. right? That's a trope.
Yep.
But you are literally like a prisoner, like an asshole who is like outcasted, right? Exile, right?
Path of Exile is where you get the name.
Yeah, and you like land in this little place where there's a teeny town, not even a town, it's just like a little rock crevice area where there's people hanging out. And they're like, yeah, you're like a shitty person and we're all shitty people and we're basically like prisoner people who like escaped because, we crashed, the boat crashed or whatever. And now you got to like go work yourself up the ladder, but no one really cares. They don't care about you. This world doesn't give a shit about you. And I thought that was very cool. Like, I think a couple RPGs do that, but you're just a person.
Yeah.
A guy or girl, and
you're not the chosen one, basically.
No, not at all. And the only thing you're doing is you're helping this like couple ragtag group in the beginning, like find a good like way through, like a passage, because they want to leave the beach and stuff. And so you're just like fighting monsters and going like you would do in a ARPG. But yeah, you're just doing it to do it. And like you get to this prison and like you had to fight this huge boss. And you go back to the guy and you're like, yeah, I beat that boss. And they're like, oh, cool. All right. So, I don't know. You can go north, I guess, if you want.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And so I went north. Like that's my next mission is like, just go north.
Go north, young man.
Yeah. So anyway, I love it. And I love the fact that you're not a special person. I'm playing the shit out of it and I love my pets. And it's an easy game to spend money on though, because you're in this world for a long time. You just want to have fun. And some of that cosmetic stuff really can, add to it.
But they've got some like whack price points, right? I remember when I was playing, there was like shit that was like $100 and stuff, right?
I didn't see anything that was expensive.
Man, when I remember when I was looking at it, it was like, oh, these cool angel wings. How much? $99. Like, maybe
I didn't see any of that.
You should go back and check because, like, when I was looking at it, there was multiple pages of stuff, and maybe they've changed it. I mean, maybe they've streamlined it, but
I think they might have lowered prices.
I remember being really taken. I mean, not everything was. I mean, some was like $1 or whatever, but like some of it was like, what? Who's going to pay for that? That's I guess if this game is your life, you'd pay it, but
you do. And I would say that I looked at this. I perused the store. I'm not going to buy too much. I just mainly the pets are fun for me, but like the pets, I think both of them cost like $15 maybe total, maybe $10.
Man, okay, that's a lot for just like a straight up cosmetic, though.
It is a lot. You're right, but I saw angel wings. I saw things like things you could put on your back, and all that stuff seemed like 200 or 300 coins in this world, and I think hundreds of coins are $10 or something. So you're in the $10 to $20 range for stuff.
Okay, that's pretty reasonable. Maybe they've cooled their jets since the last time I was in that game, and admitted that was a couple years ago. So maybe they fixed it since then.
And on top of that, like again, it's a free to play game. So yeah. I spent no money. Have already spent. I think I've already spent 40 hours in that game. It's crazy. It just goes by so fast.
Since yesterday?
No, not since yesterday. I started before. Wait, I think it's okay. I think it's like 30 hours, and I played maybe 4 days straight or something.
Wow. Okay.
And mixed with sleeping dogs, and it's just like it's super addictive.
Right on.
Path of Exile,
Path of Exile, Grinding Gear Games, I think is who that's
yes,
from.
Grinding Gear Games. And their next game, I mean, that's number 2 looks so good.
Interesting. So, all right. Right on, Path of Exile. There you go. And that is the main portion of the show.
Wait.
Well, you got an extra?
I do this all the time.
You got a bonus? Okay.
Just
bonus. Surprise game.
Of course, I'm playing the Division 2 still.
Yes, you are.
And I just wanted to say that I beat the main campaign. And then I also beat the DLC campaign that they give you. So basically, after you beat the game, not the DLC. Okay. After you beat the game, they say black tusks are around.
Right.
Or whatever.
Yes.
And then they basically make you do the whole map again.
Yeah, those are like the special extra mean guys who show up after you complete the campaign, right?
Yeah.
It's like the harder enemies.
I beat all them.
Okay.
I wiped their fucking asses. And now after you beat that, they go, they're still around because they want you to keep playing,
Right.
But I beat them, like I beat that story.
Yes.
That's a lot. And then I started the DLC, the actual DLC, which you go back to New York.
Oh.
Yeah. It's called Gangs in New York. You go back to New York and you're chasing criminals down there in this mastermind. And so you're back in the city and it feels awesome. And I beat 25% of that already. And it's just Division 2 is amazing. And it's just beautiful. And I just wanted to bring that up because it's so good. And then also, I looked at how long I've been playing that game, and it said 2 days and 16 hours. So
So they break it down for you in lifespan terms.
yeah.
Nice. Nice.
So I basically 60 hours or something. 48 plus 16. Math.
I can't do it.
48 plus 16. 4, 1, 64.
There you go.
64 hours I've been playing that game.
Nice.
So
That's a lot of
anyways,
time. So you must really enjoy it.
Division 2 is amazing.
Yeah, right on. Check it
And
out.
we're
Check it out.
done.
All right, there we go. That is the actual end of the main portion of the show. Let's just talk for a minute about the few non-games things that we're going to talk about this week, usually TV and movies. Carlos, what do you have cooking here? What do you got for TV and movies?
I got two things. One is movie. One is not any of those. The
Okay.
first one is movie. It's a documentary called Lynch Oz. It's fucking amazing, especially if you like David Lynch. And it's 4 or 5 different people talking about the kind of correlation, the connection with Wizard of Oz and David Lynch and how Wizard of Oz influenced him. And also just influenced a lot of filmmakers in general.
Interesting. Like when he was a kid, or how old was he when it came out?
Well, yeah, but just
is that
overall.
the important part?
Like, no, it really isn't. It's just more like, the idea of this wizard, the idea of this fantasy world that, Dorothy goes to. That movie so long ago set a precedent of how you kind of can jump between different realities in a movie.
Right.
A lot of, again, to reuse the word trope, a lot of tropes and movie tropes. And then just they kind of show that kind of the connection between some of Lynch's work. And, he literally in what's it called? Wild at Heart literally has Wizard of Oz in that movie. But other times you could just kind of see that influence. So I just thought it was fascinating. It's the documentary, and you can rent it on Amazon Video.
Right on.
Lynch Oz.
Lynch Oz.
Yeah, the other one is not any of those. It's a book.
What?
A book. It's
What's a book?
paper thing, and it's a shape of like a rectangle.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and you read them with pages.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up online. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Google book.
Book. Okay. I'm Googling it.
Now, I brought this up to you offline, but I saw a TikToker saying this series of books is the Dark Souls of books.
Because it's so hard to read?
Well, I'll tell you why. But that just got me in. I was like, where that normally could be annoying because people say that about everything. I was intrigued.
This is the Dark Souls of sub sandwiches.
Yeah, this is a Dark Souls of pizza. So the book was from the 80s. So the author is Gene Wolfe, Genewolfe. Yes.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Wrote a ton of epic books, fantasy, sci-fi fantasy. And Shadow and Claw is the compilation of the first 2 books in the series, the first half of the Book of the New Sun. So Shadow and Claw is the book that I got, recommended from TikTok. And what it is, it's a fantasy novel. It tells a story of a narrator, Severian, I believe his name is. And yeah, Severian. And, he's a narrator. So it's a book where he's telling the story of how it happened, but you get kind of fed these little bits of lore and story throughout the book. And why the TikTok person said it's like Dark Souls is the author, Gene, just basically throws a bunch of stuff at you and doesn't explain it.
Okay, so kind of like the William Gibson approach to writing.
Yeah, or I thought of Elden Ring,
Yeah.
I just went in Elden Ring. I was like, what's going on? And all these backstories were just there, and they didn't explain them to me. And I just had to get through things. And then sometimes I saw connections, like in Elden Ring when I finally got to that one, what's that weird room with all where you do murders for people, like you're a hitman. Remember that place? Oh my goodness. There's a place where it's like a kind of a throne room or something, and there's these people that send you out on missions to kill people for them. Did you ever do that?
I'm sorry, I'm having a moment. I'm not even sure, what we're talking about.
Oh,
right now,
Elden
Carlos.
Ring. I jumped to Elden Ring. So in Elden Ring,
Volcano Manor.
Volcano
okay.
Manor.
Yeah, okay,
Thank
sorry.
you, sorry.
I was just like, what?
You missed
okay,
that
Volcano,
word, yeah.
Yeah, no, sorry.
So
yeah, where you go and they send you out on the missions to assassinate people.
Right.
That's correct.
When I went in there and then learned about different stories there, it kind of informed me about other things in the world. And I was like, oh, that's why that one person was mad, I think, because I did this other thing, or this other person showed up there in the manor, So it's like that where they just say a bunch of things and you're like, I get kind of what's happening, but you either reread it or the next chapter kind of informs like what that was first chapter was about a little bit, you know?
Got
And
you.
I'm fascinated. Like normally I would not want to reread anything
Yeah.
or like wait to be understood something, but this is a very interesting tangent. I think games, and that's why this person on TikTok said it, have helped me read difficult books. Because think about it, we play a lot of RPGs.
We do.
Specifically where you don't know what the fuck's going on. And even Path of Exile, I don't know what the fuck's happening in that world. Like
Yeah.
they keep telling me these little story bits, and I'm like, I guess. But what you do in games, and this might be my favorite like analogy ever, is you just say, okay, I'll figure it out later. That's what you do in games.
Yeah, you kind of just keep pushing forward.
Yeah, I mean, almost any game, not just RPG. You know, you're playing a first-person Wolfenstein. I'm like, I guess I'm this guy, and I know Hitler's bad, you know, but
Confirmed.
yeah, but why am I in this area? And who are those people, you know?
Yeah, you've got the gameplay to kind of carry you forward. So even if you don't know what's going on, you're like, well, I do know I need to shoot these guys.
That's it.
I'm going to keep doing that. And then eventually, hopefully, you get a cutscene that you're like, oh, I got it now. Or, you know.
Right, but
like
the
that.
storytelling still has to be good. The game still has to help, you know, do that. And that's why I think this is working. And that's why, I mean, this guy, you know, from the past was a genius at this, like won all these awards because he's creating these worlds where you just like are very interested in. You don't know what's going on fully. And then you'll see something that doesn't make any sense either. Or you'll read like, wait, why is that even like the world has that? Like, you know, not our world has that. And I'm reminded of, you know, Killing of a Sacred Deer and The Lobster and I forgot that director. He just did Poor Things, which I want to go see.
I was going to say, it sounds like a pretty good brunch up until that point.
Oh, nice. You know, Emma Stone is in it. Yeah. Anyways, it's this huge movie. It's getting all praise. But that director does something similar where there's just rules in that world that we don't have.
Right.
Like in The Lobster, if you don't find a person to have a relationship with by a certain time, you have to turn into an animal.
Right.
Like, that's what that movie's about. And so people just like say, yeah, I get it. Like that just happens in the world. And so that's similar to this. It's like, oh yeah, wait, why is that a thing? That's it. I just wanted to say it's fucking amazing. And I don't read books like this, especially like I don't read huge epic ones. And also that take me a long time. But here's how in I am, Brad.
How in are you, Carlos?
Thank you. I bought a book light.
Oh, wow. You're in. Oh, wow.
I bought you attach them to the book, you know?
Yep.
I got a book light,
It's kind of like book DLC, honestly.
That is book DLC. And it's rechargeable, and it has 3 different colors of light.
Oh, wow. Okay, for mood
Dude,
lighting, I guess. So, okay, so tell
I
us,
am all
it's
in.
Gene Wolfe.
Gene Wolfe.
Tell us the names of the books again.
Again, this is the collection. I would suggest this because it's cheap. Shadow and Claw is the name of the book.
Okay.
And that's a collection of the first 2 books in the series.
All right.
So Shadow and Claw, Gene Wolfe, get on Amazon. I think it's like $20. Yeah, and if you like the idea of a Dark Souls of books.
Yes. Speaking of get it on Amazon, just a brief tangent.
Yes.
I read yesterday that Jeff Bezos, the guy who is behind Amazon, he makes $7 million every 13 minutes.
Cool. Thanks for that.
Makes you feel good about yourself, right?
Well, on top of that, you know, I helped start that company. Remember, we talk about that a lot, right?
Yeah, I mean, I knew people who knew Bezos when he was coming up. Like one of my friends from high school knew his family, and they were talking about, oh, he's getting this thing going. And I'm like, cool, whatever. And then fucker makes that much money. That's ridiculous.
You're making me go on a tangent, but I have to say it again. Just like you went off on your concrete worker tangent.
Go ahead.
And everybody listen.
I'm ready. Embrace.
We have at least thousands of listeners, okay?
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
I don't know if anybody can do anything about this. But I should have money coming in because I literally, and me and about 150 other people, so it's not just me, but a small chunk of people, not Amazon numbers employees now, hundreds of people, and me, Carl Stradella, helped create Amazon. I literally, with like 7 other people, did all of the actual data that came into the website. So if a book had an ISBN number, that's the whole thing. We processed those books. If music had a UPC code, we did that work. So nothing would be on the site.
Did you get like paid in some stocks or anything? Did you?
We got stock during the stay there. 5 years I was there. And I was always underwater most of the time, which means that if your strike price is too high, and you can't sell it because you won't make money.
Right.
So I had to wait for it to split. Long story short, I made like thousands of dollars every year by selling a little bit, which as a poor person, like, up and coming person, I needed that money.
Sure.
If I would have held on to all of that stock, I still would have had like maybe $80,000-$90,000 like in a chunk. But I made that throughout the year. It was better to use it then because it was helping me live,
Exactly. Well, you got to live.
But I didn't have penny stocks. I didn't have some of the people before me had like, dime stocks.
Right.
And that's how you make those millions. The point is, not only did I help start the initial part of the company with the data, but then I helped create the music system, the digital music at Amazon. It was Carlos Rodella. There wasn't multiple
We've
people.
never talked about this before.
We haven't?
No, never.
So I took CDs and ripped them and made MP3s so Amazon could sell them. Carlos did.
You were sitting in a room,
Yeah.
putting CDs in a little drive and just like
In a cubicle.
downloading them and stuff?
In a cubicle.
Wow.
I remember I had a little awning on my cubicle, and the Christmas lights and stuff.
Yeah.
There was not multiple people. It was Carlos Rodella. That's
Wow.
it.
That's
Victor,
pretty wild.
I think a couple other people that were in my team maybe helped me sometimes, but I ripped the CDs. Not only did I do that, okay, and I'm broke here, okay, this is why. Tell someone, get to Jeff. I just want a little bit of money. I helped start the digital program, which means ebooks and eDocs.
Yeah, yeah.
I did all that. Like me and Bill Hummel and a couple other people, I remember it was like a team of 5 people, and we created digital books.
I mean, I believe it, dude, because you're always so forward thinking. You're always on the edge of things. So, I mean, that makes sense, man. It sucks that you
And nothing.
didn't get to ride that wave, man.
There's no wave. I was underwater in my stock, and it just seems the most unfair, especially you bringing that up. It's like I'm literally struggling to pay anything. And,
Yeah.
man, that just now I'm mad.
Well, it makes me mad, too, because I
Sad,
was,
mainly.
because I'm self-employed and I do gig work to support the family. My wife's got a good job. But, when you're self-employed, you got to put away extra taxes. And so I end up paying about 30% taxes. And I'm just like a guy. Right? Is Jeff Bezos, who makes $7 million every 13 minutes, is he paying 30% taxes? Fuck no, he's not. Does he pay anything? I think Amazon even, they either pay nothing
They
or they get a
skirted the
fucking...
tax thing for a while.
Yeah, right? And so I don't
changed
even
it.
know. I mean, but regardless, that dude should be paying taxes for all of fucking America. He could take one day off and he could pay taxes for so many fucking people. And it would just be like easier for everybody. And every time I put money in my savings account to pay taxes, it makes me mad because I'm like, man, fuck those guys. Like I have so little and I've got to put so much of it away. And here's this guy who like has more money than he could ever spend in 100 lifetimes. Even if he was wacky spending, he couldn't spend it all. And yeah, it just feels so unfair sometimes.
Well,
man.
that's the unfairness of the imbalance, because if you have a currency that you can't spend, then that's just a broken system. You know what I mean? Like you
Agreed.
can't even spend it all. And I would suggest, that's all I'm saying, is not just me, but there's about 200 people. That's a small number, by the way. 200 people who might be listening to this podcast. I know a lot of them. A lot of them are still my friends. 200 people, just pay us all a lump sum, okay? Because
Yeah.
we got you to that place. That's all I'm saying. It's not even coming out of spite or true anger. It's just sadness, and I'm poor.
Right.
But like I think those 200 people deserve it because we were in one office. You know
Well,
what I mean?
isn't that how billionaires get made? They just step all over the people who are under them, right? Like if they actually paid people what they were worth and were honest business people, there wouldn't be billionaires.
Right, but I'm saying, here's my plea. I don't think people forget. You know what I mean? Like he's so far removed from that office that we all started in. I would never be as me, Carlos, but I just feel like I'm reminding. Like let's remind him that there's 200 people or so that helped him get to where he's got, and just
Right.
give us a little bit of money.
That would be the decent thing to do. Also,
be.
pay everybody's fucking taxes because you can goddamn
And that
afford
too,
it.
I guess. But
Yeah. Anyway. Okay, tangent over. Let's get back to the other stuff I was going to mention before
Sorry.
we got... No, it's fine. Let me talk about some TV, just TV really quickly. Upload Season 3 came out on, I think, Amazon a while ago. This is the TV series about the guy, a world where people, when they die, their brains get uploaded into a virtual reality. But it's also like super commercialized, and it's capitalism, and it's about, commentary about money and digital rights and about life. And it's also a comedy. Upload is great. I just watched Season 3. Wonderful. I'm really glad to see it come back. It was very, very good. I watched, my son is really into a new show called Lawmen Bass Reeves. Have you heard of this?
I have not.
It is a Western. And I forget the name of the guy. I want to say his name is David Oyuelo, and if I'm mispronouncing that, I apologize. I think his name is Oyuelo. African American actor, does a great job. But this is actually so it's a fictionalized series based on a true person. Bass Reeves was actually a lawman. I think it was some kind of deputy something, but a high up lawman in the Old West, and he was black. He was an escaped slave who went west and didn't go all the way west, but went pretty far west. And then after emancipation happened, and he became an extremely successful actual real life lawman. So he's not really often talked about when you talk about Westerns. We all hear about, Buffalo Bill and Annie Oakley and stuff like that, Billy the Kid and all that. But here's a dude who was actually like fucking doing it. He's got, I want to say he was the most successful bounty hunter type guy. He brought people, and he also brought back people alive more often than anybody else did. He ended up having, I think, 14 kids or something like that. Wife, homestead, and his character, his real life character, or his real life personality, that was the basis for the Lone Ranger, except they turned him white. So they were so impressed with Bass Reeves and his reality of what he did in the Old West. They're like, man, we got to make a show about this, but let's make him white instead. So that was kind of bullshit, but very interesting stuff. His character on the show looks a lot like what he actually looked like in real life. There are some photos of him back then, and I'm like, wow, good job there. So it's pretty grim and serious at times. There's not a lot of laughter in this, but it's really interesting. And if you like Westerns, I think it's really cool even to see this fictionalized account of this black guy who was just like, man, doing crazy stuff back in the day. And like, you never hear about it. You never hear, he never gets props. He's never held up as a Western hero, which is like a real fucking shame. So it's really interesting from that perspective.
Okay.
So Lawman, Bass Reeves, went back to an old horror movie called The Ruins. I think it was from like 2009, maybe something like that. You ever see The Ruins, Carlos?
I haven't.
It's based on a really successful horror book. I'm not going to give it away, but basically a bunch of people go to Cabo for, spring break or some shit. And they go on this illicit tour of, I want to say it's Mayan temple, or is it the Aztec temple? I apologize. I don't remember which, but they're in Mexico somewhere. And they go to see one of those temples, like the stair-steppy kind of pyramids they have down there,
Mm-hmm.
And they get trapped there. I'm not going to say how they get trapped or why they get trapped, because that's a big part of the story, but they get trapped on this pyramid and they can't leave. And it becomes this like screaming, bloody horror nightmare, which was just a really, really effective horror movie. I watched it back then. I read the book. I thought it was great. Revisited. Still really good, really effective, good stuff. I definitely recommend The Ruins if you like it. And the bonus is it's also one of those movies where it's kind of like people stuck in a bad spot, which is one of my favorite genres that we've talked about before, where it's like The Pool, where somebody's stuck at the bottom of a pool they can't climb out of, or Frozen, when they're stuck in a ski lift and they can't get down off the ski lift, or I think it was a Climb, where these two girls are stuck on top of a radio tower.
Yeah.
Those like people in a bad spot. Like, I love those movies. There's something really compelling about them. So it's a horror movie, but it's also people stuck in a bad spot. Very effective. I thought it was very good. The Ruins is great. Movie we just watched called Susie Searches. You've heard of this one?
No, I don't know any of the things you're saying this time.
This was like an Indie award-winning film. It's on Hulu for free, I believe, right now is where we saw it. It's about commentary in the digital age. This girl is wanting to be an online presence. She wants to be kind of a content creator. She wants to do a true crime podcast, and nobody is paying attention to her, so she really needs to find a case to get famous on. Again, I don't want to give it away, but like basically she ends up finding a case. She solves the case, but then things go sideways because of things she doesn't expect. And it just becomes kind of like, what is our life in the digital age? What is our life in social media? How does this affect you as a person? But it's also funny, but it's also kind of a mystery. Really good. I thought it was really good. It was pretty wild, pretty different. I liked it a lot. Susie Searches is pretty great. And the last one I'm going to mention is another movie called There's Something in the Barn. This is a straight up horror comedy, my favorite genre.
Oh, I started watching this.
Oh, did you start watching this? You stopped?
Christmas time.
Yeah, Christmas time.
And I like the guy, I forgot the actor. He's in Silicon Valley.
Yes, I know the guy you're talking about. I don't know his name either, but he's pretty funny. So this is about a family. This guy's grandpa dies. He's living in Norway, Sweden, something like that.
Yeah.
And he inherits the house. And so he's like, oh, let's go move to Norway for a change of atmosphere and life. He moves his whole family out there, and it turns out that there are house elves. I don't know their exact, their name in the mythology or whatever, but basically these little helper house elves. There's one in the barn, and if you treat him well, take care of him and respect him, then he will help you around the farm. He'll shovel your snow, he'll chop your wood, he'll milk your cows, like he'll do all the chores for you if you give them a place to live and treat them nicely. But they don't know about that. And so the guy starts fucking with the elf, and the elf gets fucking pissed. And he calls his other elves in, and it becomes just fucking chaos from there. So like these little helper elves are going buck wild on this guy's farm, and it's just like crazy, and it's funny, and it's goofy, and it's actually based in some real myths. I mean, I have read about those things before, even though I don't know what their name is, but it was pretty good. It's a, obviously Christmas themed movie. That was really fun, but I think it would still hold up anytime. Good times. There's something in the barn I thought was a good laugh and a half. Good time there. So anyway, that's all I got. And this is going to bring us to the end of the show, folks. Before we close, we'd love to ask you to leave reviews, share us on social media, but most of all, please recommend us to your friends. Nothing beats word of mouth. Also, if you want to support the show, please help us out with costs. That'd be greatly appreciated. You don't have to, but if you can, go over to patreon.com/the Videogames podcast. $5 members will get in on the Discord, but we will never, ever content lock anything. You'll always get the same great show every week. And as always, we want your questions and comments. Hit us up, sovideogamespodcast@gmail.com, or reach us individually. Carlos, where are we sending your traffic this week?
This has a slight tangent. Sorry, last tangent. You can go to glitchtotheground.com now. Glitchthroughtheground.com for all my weird videos. The tangent is, once I started putting videos up there, it was like, hey, do you want to link them from YouTube or wherever? Or do you want to just upload them? It was so cool, Brad. It was like the olden days when you made a website and you put your videos on the website and you don't have to see any views. There's no comments.
Nice.
There's no hearts. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I was like, I'm going to put up this weird video that I like that no one, originally liked or whatever, on those other channels.
You don't have to get beat up by the algorithm. You don't have to be abused by that. Yeah.
It's whatever I want to put on the fucking homepage. So I'm still working on it, but it's active right now and it works. And there's some videos that I think aren't on the other sites. So glitchtotheground.com.
Right on. Go check it out. Check out the content that comes directly from Carlos's mind.
Yes.
As for me, I'm on Blue Sky, Twitter, Instagram. It's my name, BradGallaway, all A's, no O's. Or I guess just come over and visit me at GameCritics.com too. I'm the editor over there, so you can come and check that out, or just say hey in the Discord, whatever. And this is going to do it, folks, for episode 371. Thank you so much again for joining us here on the Videogames podcast, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week. Good.